Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Weekly Games Chat. I am your host, Chris, as always, joined by my co-host, Sean.
What's up? How's everybody doing, huh?
And John.
I love living in Georgia. There's very few states I choose over Georgia. There's a couple. But today, it's hotter than seven hells.
It's pretty warm.
It really
But
is.
what makes it even hotter is I have to stare into the eyes of the best beard in the business.
Yeah, it's not me, by the way.
That hurts.
That's a tease. That's
I mean,
a tease.
look at it. It's so luscious and vibrant. And
Yeah, but I've got like
Is it vibrant?
I got a Mason-Dixon line thing going on with mine.
yeah, do that.
You
Definitely.
got some. It really. I was looking at pictures of you like recently, Chris, where you didn't have any gray in your beard.
No,
I'm just saying
like,
he makes me sweat in a good way.
And then
like even Mikey got married in like 2015.
wait, Mikey's married?
Yeah, and like the anniversary came up, so like a bunch of wedding. So on my Facebook feed, like a ton of wedding pictures popped up because I was in the wedding, and like I'm just looking, I'm like, look at all no gray right there, only like
When they get
right
married?
here, like 2015.
Jeez, you had no gray in 2015?
No,
No, I had gray, but it was
Wow.
like maybe to right here.
Oh,
It wasn't.
Hey, but
that's why we call you
Let's
old
be
man Chris.
let's be honest.
Yeah,
That talk was not for your beard.
sure. Yeah. Boo.
I mean, look at that beard.
Please welcome back the Kwame Brown of the podcast because I'm sticking with it.
Hey, brothers.
Jeff, good friend. Oh, dang. Yeah. Everyone's popping.
It's like they had that planned.
Got to do it right.
Sean and Jeff just might have opened beers from America's oldest brewery.
Is that a fun fact? It's on the
That's
can.
a fun fact.
Well, we rode our cycles together to the show today.
So you're drinking and driving on your cycles.
Well, no, we're on our cycles.
Your cycles.
Get it? That's the
We'll do
joke.
that. We'll do that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it was like, as John stated, hotter than seven hells. So, if you ride a motorcycle, you know in the summer it gets crazy hot. That's why you see the bikers just like saying, F it, put a t-shirt on, some shorts, open face helmet, minimal gloves. Like it's hot, but we love riding, right?
If we have the bad luck of going to hell, we'd probably say, it's not so bad.
Right. That's how hot it is. So Jeff and I are coming down the road to come to the show.
Crank up the heat.
And I swear we hit probably, let's just say there's 10 red lights. There's obviously more or less than that. But we hit 8 out of the 10 red lights, it felt like. So you just get going. You're happy for the hot breeze, and then you stop.
Yeah, it's great when you got the air moving across you, but when you stop, buddy,
Oh, my
that concrete,
goodness. The heat,
pavement just-
the heat coming from our leg, or in between our legs, from the motor, not our loins.
Yes.
I just turned around. Sorry to cut you off. I turn around and what do I see? Penny's got my freaking socket wrench. Or
Is she eating it?
She's just like carrying him out. I was like,
That's
this is what happens.
I was wondering
Every
why
time
left.
you all come over, people wonder why. You want to know why you can't be on my couch? Because she does like this.
Yeah.
But the breeze on your crotch. Go ahead.
It's so hot. It radiates up from like the ground surfaces.
Yeah.
And then you're in between other cars that are putting off heat that you don't know about when you're in your nice, comfortable, SUV or your little smart cars or whatever you're in, because you have air conditioner. And I know about that life because I also have a car that has air conditioner and it's nice.
I hope
and
so.
whatnot. So we go to the local joint like we always do to get drinks before the show. Like we grab a water.
For the show. Oh, wait.
We grab a water. He grabs it. I think I'm going to try that next time, by the way. Your peace tea that you got.
yeah,
It looks pretty good.
cold and good.
I already drank it.
It-
I'm just kidding. It's in the fridge. But I was like, you know what? You know what would be good right now?
A beer.
A nice cold beer. So we go over to it, see if they have any loose ones, and
That's
They had-
typically something that come from me, not Sean.
yeah. I mean, I'm not. I will drink a beer, but I'm not a beer drinker, if that makes sense. So Jeff gives me the look like, it ain't nothing but a thing, dog. All you gotta do is say it. So yeah, we picked up 2 brewskis,
Two Yinglings.
2 Yinglings.
Funny story about Yingling. Went to the Civic Center here in Columbus, and
We don't tell them where we're from, Jeff.
now they know. And I step
They
up
do.
to the counter, and they've got a sign that says domestic and import. And under import is Yingling.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, guys, it says on the can, America's oldest beer.
South
but-
America.
Well, hold on. It's put it in perspective. It's been imported from the north.
Where's it come from? What are the fun facts about Yingling, Jeff?
Well, Pottsville, PA.
Oh, that's in America.
It's a really weird thing down here because, fun fact, like, it was something when I grew up there, my dad used to drink Yingling. Like, it wasn't a big
really?
deal. Like, that was when
Like
you live in the mid-Atlantic, it's kind of just a common thing. And when we came down here, when it first came here, it was marketed as like a premium beer. I remember, like, they're like, yeah, man, if you like 420 and Terrapin, you're going to love some Yingling.
The first time I had a Yingling was hanging out with you however many years ago when we went to the gas station by your Home Depot.
When we went to the gas
and you were
station.
like, hey, you got Yingling.
It probably wasn't long after I was
that gas
introduced to
station
it.
has the coldest beer in town, John.
Oh, nice.
The one by your place?
No, the one by his place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but that's the joke because every one of them have the sign above that says coldest beer in town, walk-in freezer.
You know, we're getting a Love's not too far from the house.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Where's
It
that
makes
gonna
us
be?
sound like we live on a highway.
Yeah,
but
it's if you
truck
go,
stop, right?
it is, but it's an amazing. It's got stuffed animals in it. It's got hot dogs, pretzels, beer.
There's a picture
Dirty
of
magazine.
me.
Dirty magazines, trucker equipment.
There's a picture of me.
Trucker equipment.
There's a picture of me somewhere, I think on Mikey's Facebook page of back when we were coming back from Bonnaroo. We're in
I remember my first.
I'm in
beer.
It went down the breathing pipe. That wasn't supposed to happen.
I'm in like a jean jacket and basically a John Popper from Blues Traveler hat.
You
Just
still have that
looking-
hat?
I wish I did. And it was all found right there at Love's at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, Loves are great.
They're
You'll see.
apparently building a Godfather's along with it.
Shut your face.
And as much as I love some good old Godfather's pizza, I don't know about eating
So-
out of a
fun-
gas station restaurant.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
You got to
Fun
do
fact.
what you got to do.
When I traveled to Charleston, there's I believe it's a Love's that also has a Godfather's, attached to it. Mm-hmm. It's legit. It works. Now,
Thank you, Herman Cain.
who? What does that mean? Who's
I don't
Herman
even
Cain?
think
Herman
he-
Cain, he ran for president
Yeah.
back in the day. He used to be CEO of Godfather's Pizza.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's
I
a
don't even
fun
think he's-
fact.
That is a fun fact. I had a great time with that fact.
We need a sounder for
I
when
am America.
The best thing of him,
One voice, united we stand.
his
This is
America.
sponsored by Yingling.
his claim to fame, and this ties back to video games.
Oh,
is
it does.
He once quoted the Pokemon song from the Pokemon movie when he was like on stage at a debate.
It was amazing.
And you're just like, that is such a powerful thing. And then someone online just goes, wait, man, that's a freaking Pokemon song.
Wait. So the founder of Godfathers
Yes.
ran for president recently.
Yeah,
This is
remember the
2012?
999 tax plan?
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
Herman Cain.
Oh, the inventor of Godfather's Pizza.
Well, but he was CEO. Did he? He didn't.
I don't know
found
if he
it.
was the
if he
founder.
You
Or
just
not.
said he invented pizza.
He invented pizza. Yeah.
He wasn't the Godfather.
He's a time traveler.
my favorite thing he did on the debate stage. Wolf Blitzer from CNN was
Was he in the Situation Room?
Well, no,
That's
he
funny.
was. What's the term?
Moderating.
Moderating the debate.
I remember my first
you
time.
started
And so
it. Like you were-
I was on point, and then I
It was
just
on
crashed.
the tip of your tongue.
And then Herman Cain said something. Goes, so this is Wolf Blitzer. He goes, listen, Blitz. He called him Blitz.
He did not call Wolf Blitzer
He
Blitz.
called him Blitz.
Oh
and
my God.
yeah,
That's
it was
fantastic.
Classic. I love Herman.
If you're
Cain.
not careful, you're going to get blitzed.
You're gonna get blitzed.
That's how it went.
Like
so-
they said from the Pokemon movie.
Hey, speaking of movies, huh?
Yeah.
I finally saw The Far From Home.
Yeah. Remember, you came over here, you
Trash,
picked up my
wasn't
old
it?
couch.
And I went
then
to
you
go
went
see
to
it.
go see it. How'd you
Trash.
like it?
I liked it a lot.
It was trash.
A lot.
It was not. Did you watch it?
You liked
Yeah,
it.
it's trash.
Yeah.
Terrible, right?
Now he's
The-
got to be against it.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. So, but I wouldn't put spoilers here anyway.
Went last week to see Toy Story, but go ahead. I know.
Spider-Man dies. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Woody dies.
He technically died in Infinity War for like a hot second, but it was just a blip.
Yeah.
He's just a blip.
That's what they call it now.
Yeah. They did explain some things, which was good. But the ending, the very credit ending stuff,
Big stuff.
whoa.
Yeah. Big stuff for the future.
There were people that were watching it that got up and left, and I was like, okay, one of two things. Either you've
Don't
already
people understand by now?
it's
Don't people get it?
Marvel's setting stuff up. So either you've already seen this, or
You gotta pee.
option no, this was at the end of the movie, John.
But you,
That's when you got to poo.
Yeah. But option two, you're dumb.
I feel bad if you got poo. Pooing at a theater is never a fun thing.
Technically, it's here now for me, but we're at Chris's house, and that's not going to happen.
you got one brewing?
He's been barking ever since we were at the gas station.
It's not happening. Not here.
So let's see.
What are you doing right now?
Movie-wise,
What are you doing?
What did I do that? Oh, the only thing I really watched this week, I watched Aziz Ansari's new stand-up. Hilarious. I told you this.
You highly recommended it.
Yeah, that is the funniest stand-up I've seen in a while.
See, he said that to me, and I was like, "Hey, that's strong."
Yeah, I don't say that lightly. That's
Yeah,
one
you
of my
said it kind of
faves.
deep. You did.
Very deeply.
Was he completely in character?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like the way he the way he says puppy, like pup.
No, it was very different from him. Like, I could tell right away because it opens up with the Velvet Underground song. I was like, this doesn't feel like Aziz Ansari's type thing, but I mean, I guess after what he went through, I mean, like, you're like, okay, maybe he's being a little bit more authentic instead of his character.
I like the way you're rubbing
cool.
that mic, Jeff.
Well, I was gonna watch it. I was gonna watch it on Netflix, but I can't now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
John.
You got a phone?
So Chris hinted about a couch earlier. Chris he's arranged the house a little differently now.
Yeah.
Got a nice little new couch. He's moved his TV around. John walks in, and I didn't know it when it happened, but John goes, "Nice TV." And I thought when John said it, I go, John knows that that's Chris's TV. Why would John say that? A few minutes later, it's disclosed that John has apparently humans that jump into TVs.
I have no legal claim to a video game podcast at all anymore. I'm still friend of the show.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a TV.
Yeah.
By the way, one more week and you get your status back.
Yeah.
Not this week because I ain't got no TV.
What does that mean?
That doesn't
I can't
matter.
play no games.
I don't care.
You can't play. You got a
I can play
Nintendo
Switch.
Switch.
Take my Switch.
Yeah. You got a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
You got some good stuff on
But
that.
it's getting fixed. This is what sucks when I think about it.
Oh, God.
It's getting fixed Monday
Okay.
from a guy who's driving down from Norcross.
You're paying
Your TV
for
is?
all of that.
I was like, am I paying for this dude's
Yep.
mileage?
Your TV is?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's likely the problem is the LCD panel needs to be replaced. I sound smart, but I don't know what the heck that means.
That just means, the panel that is LCD.
yeah, exactly.
The
what it
actual
means.
screen.
But Samsung said they'll pay for the part, which is probably $2, and I'll pay for labor, which is probably $2,000.
Did they
Okay.
give you an estimate?
Yeah. John, you got to
Well,
get
we
an
don't know.
estimate.
We don't know what the problem is, so we can't give me an estimate. I'm only assuming I know the
Oh,
problem.
my God. You have just opened up for this one, huh?
Why is Chris looking down into his microphone?
Because
if
I'm
he
like,
has a better
man.
solution.
No, there's
No.
no. You could have took it to Circuit City.
Oh yeah.
I would have called around here first. I would have been like, is there someone around here that is licensed? So
They used to be.
Samsung's licensed technician.
I asked.
We had a local
There's
shop.
nobody.
You used to could have taken it to Farrah's TV.
Because Farrah is Farrah.
Farrah was Farrah. That was the tagline. Farrah is no more.
Just do what we all do. Call Jeff. He apparently knows how
YouTube
to
it,
take
dude.
everything.
YouTube it, huh?
Order the part from
Well,
Amazon. Jeff will put it in there.
If I YouTube it,
Along with other
if I
things I'll put
YouTube
in.
it and I try to fix it and it doesn't work, and then I call Samsung and I say, "Can I have a temporary extended warranty?" The technician will come down and say, "You've obviously messed with this. The warranty you were graced with is no longer valid.
Null and
so I'm
void."
screwed."
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not going to touch that TV, and I'm not going to pretend to know what to do with that TV.
funny
All
thing-
it does is have pretty pictures on it.
What they're probably going to reimburse that technician, they could just send you a new TV for the same price.
Probably.
I do want us to be updated on the story if possible, because this is an ongoing development.
So I went upstairs.
Yeah, you did.
Apparently, I was more annoying last night because I didn't have my entertainment. So I went upstairs.
I
My
feel so
wife
sorry
was
for those
Your
people.
wife.
my wife was in the closet.
Your wife.
I said, "Honey." She finally comes out and says, "What?" I'm like,
Hi.
"I'm bored." She said,
Here we go.
You did a Stewie tour?
"Yeah, pretty much."
Mommy.
But yeah,
I'm trying to think what else I did.
Nothing, Chris.
The only other thing I did was yesterday, which I kind of spoke to last week, which was I've been waiting for it. For those who don't know, this weekend, 50th anniversary of landing on the moon. Probably the biggest.
Yeah, you plugged that show last week.
And
don't
so
you
it came.
mean the
It came
50th anniversary of the biggest scam in the 20th century?
and today is actually the 50th. Well, yesterday for them
Jeff knows.
is the 50th anniversary of the actual launch. Today was when they launched 50 years ago. But yeah, it came up yesterday, and I just sat there and I worked. But really, I watched also 9 episodes of 12.
What did Neil Armstrong say when he touched down on the moon?
That's one small step for man. That's one small step. There's like one word that's left out. I can't remember what it is.
What did he claim he said?
That's one small step for a man,
Amen.
and one giant leap for a mankind. Yeah,
You'll get it in a minute.
yeah something like that. I can't remember.
mumbling, stumbling.
No, it's awesome. I mean, like, even now, it's amazing to me how much that holds up. And, like, there are episodes I'd forgotten back. Like, there's, like, one about just how the lemon is made and, like, engineering. And that is one of the coolest things. Like, to see, like, someone took engineering and put it on TV for an hour, and it's actually really, really good television. I was like, all right.
The moon landing doesn't hold up. You can see the seams in the screen. You can see, the cut and pasting and all that crap. It's just
he makes you think he's being for real, right?
That's what I'm wondering here.
Yeah.
This Earth is flat.
Neil Armstrong is a fraud.
Well, he can't speak for himself anymore. John.
One of the greatest Americans who ever lived.
Exactly. But Buzz Aldrin can.
And you can see the movie about him premiering on HBO on
Buzz or
Saturday. Neil, first man.
Yeah. Not second man.
Who was it that played him? It was
Somebody's
Tony,
laughing at that?
What's his name? On the show, it's Tony Goldwyn.
Everybody's seen the movie Apollo 13, right?
Yes.
My favorite line in the movie is when they're trying to distract Jim Lovell's mom.
Yeah.
And they say, Mrs. Lovell, this is Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Mm-hmm. They're just going to visit with you for a while. And she goes, "Are you boys in the space program too?"
It's funny.
It was amazing.
Because they're kind of like the space program or whatever.
The moon landing was tense this time because I was like, "Oh, Neil, don't trust him. That's the danger right there. That's old Walter White next to you. You don't know what he's capable of."
What are you talking about?
Bryan Cranston plays Buzz Aldrin on the show. So I was just like, oh, wow. Hey, he's a good character actor.
Bryan Cranston?
Yeah.
Cook some meth in space.
Yep. Yeah. That's what he was doing.
In his underwear, huh?
He's
I wish
Neil's
the show would have gone there.
Neil's like, how close are we to the bomb? Busy right now.
Did you guys see how the actor who plays Jesse Pinkman tweeted or Instagrammed a picture with Walter White behind him? Or everybody thought this was them saying that the movie was going to come out or the next thing.
Aren't they? They're making a movie.
Well, then it
You
was
need to
all
stay off that social media.
Man, it's
nothing
great.
but lies.
It's truth. I'll tell you that much out there. Mm-hmm. The social medias.
Breaking Bad.
We can't say that people, you can't tell me to stay off social media when in an hour and a half we're going to plug our social media to death.
It's called irony, Sean.
Oh,
that's funny.
Two things.
Two things.
Breaking Bad is in my top 5 greatest shows of all time.
When did you finally watch it?
That's fair.
I've watched it like 4 times.
But you still haven't watched The Wire, have you?
Nor
Dude.
will I.
Dude.
Oh, God, why not?
No, I
When you
no
should.
problem.
When you watch The Wire,
Yeah.
Breaking Bad drops. It's done.
Number 6.
It's
The
done.
Wire is great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it holds up.
You've seen it?
Yeah. Love.
Wire.
Love
And that
The
got
Wire.
the Allstate guy. What's his name? David.
Swimmer?
Nope.
Schwartz.
Anyway.
No, it's not him. He's
Allen.
not in there. No.
Jenkins.
Who's in there? Idris Elba's in there.
Yeah.
Who's the other? The dude who played Littlefinger's in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people from Game of Thrones actually who ended up on there before they got.
I'm just getting comfortable with my
Bigger.
T-shirt.
It looks good.
Maybe
on
don't
you.
Yeah.
mind.
Shout out to
Looks
John
real
for
good.
first time ever. First time for the show.
the show.
Backtracking to how we say it's hot.
I stripped down a layer.
John I look over and he's in a T-shirt. And I go, that's not a bad idea. Well, then Jeff and I look at each other. We're also like, you know what? Let's go T-shirts. And then we immediately realize we have dingy, nasty T-shirts compared to John's crisp white T-shirt.
Clean,
like
almost wrinkle-free.
Well,
feel
to
like I'm
add
singing
to
with,
the curve, my pants are off too.
When did you do
Don't
that?
look.
That's the case.
Don't look.
Zip.
I feel like I'm just
He's shy.
here with 3 lesser versions of Tom Cruise and Top Gun right now.
We're stunt doubles.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you feel the need?
At least you two got motorcycles.
Yeah.
But I'm rocking a V-neck and a Yingling.
You're rocking
Yeah.
a loose V-neck. Let's be honest.
Man.
I like it. No other way.
V-necks, man.
It's
That's where it's at.
you look like a bearded Simon Cowell, and I like it.
That was the worst
Anyways.
performance I've ever heard in my life.
That was a mediocre
It's okay.
time.
It's okay.
It was.
Thanks for your support.
Can you do a better Simon Cowell?
I don't think I can.
I can't do a better Simon Cowell. Can you do a better Simon?
Negative.
So technically, I cannot make fun of your Simon Cowell.
Thank you.
Because you're the best at this table at doing it.
Thank you.
That's
if
right.
I work on it, I'll come back next week.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
If he comes back next week, he's back on the show.
Yeah. Finally. I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
Your dues will be due at that point.
You dues? Yeah.
Yeah.
We since you left, we instantly
there's a readmission fee.
a membership fee.
Your prospect dues.
That's a good reference right there, Geoff. I like it.
Thanks, Sean.
See, John, a prospect is.
Yeah.
But besides that, yeah.
What are you
Anything
doing,
else?
man? What are you doing?
I don't know. It's 20 minutes.
That's fine, dude. Yeah. This is opening banter. We haven't talked football. We talked movies.
That's true.
Roll Tide.
There is some football.
Roll Tide.
There's some football in our future, eh?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We got our tickets.
Oh yeah, they got tickets.
For the record, you could go right now on StubHub and get yourself a ticket for like $25.
I know, and I know that. I think I have engagements that day, so it's probably fine.
I like
That's
a good
great.
engagement.
I do too.
But
there were rules of engagement, huh?
I am worried. The more I keep reading, that I'm like, that
Alabama's
dude's
gonna suck
I was
this year?
like, I don't think they'll beat us, but I was like, that dude's gonna win a Heisman there, isn't he?
Jalen,
Because everyone's just saying it now. Yeah.
yeah.
They're saying all summer. They're like, he just looks amazing now.
He's gonna look good in that system, and he's a good player.
Yeah.
He almost won the Heisman when he was on our team.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that, huh?
It's a
That's true.
natural fit for him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
I hope he does well.
He's a bronze god. Look at him.
Dude, he barely keeps his shirt on when he's not around us.
Yeah, pretty much.
He sits in his backyard on his pool.
What's holding him back?
He literally walks out. I've seen him walk outside, go to the middle of the road in like 99-degree weather and just lay down and
on the road.
Yeah, and just be like,
It's like heat. Bring it.
and they're like, do you want a beer at least? He's like, nah.
Which confuses me about how hot he was saying it was outside with our motorcycles. So.
See, the difference is your bike, as I explained, is air cooled. Okay, so it's air cooled. Let's not get too techie.
Well,
my bike is not. So as I sit on that hot pavement, it just radiates heat.
yeah, that's your balls.
Yeah.
Wow. It's nice.
I can tell
Fair.
you, and I don't mean to make you any more uncomfortable than I already have, but when I see you drink that, it's in slow motion.
Every time.
I just want you to know. So, on to the topic.
That's fine.
Time.
What if I hold my pinky out the whole time? Too?
Don't do that. That ruins it.
No.
That ruins it.
it.
Yeah.
All right. We ready to do topic?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
Topic.
The topic is My Friend Pedro. I could totally be a Mexican soccer commentary.
I'm glad you saved that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, my friend Pedro. Hey, fun fact. I probably won't ever be beating my friend Pedro now.
Yeah, you will.
Did your TV break?
No. So for those who happened to get on the stream Monday night,
Why don't you let me tell my perspective?
Oh, okay. You want to go with it? Okay.
Yeah, and then you can give the back end of it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
basically,
Love a good back end.
Yeah, I love getting a good back
yeah.
end. You know what I'm saying? High five, fellas.
I'm finishing up Pedro last night.
I love a good finish up.
And part of the way through, I get a message on my phone that says, I don't know if it's Chris or Weekly Game Chat, but is live on Twitch playing Pedro. So I finish up my playthrough, and I finished the game last night. And when I got off the game, I figured I'm going to see where Chris is. Well, the Twitch feed had ended,
Yeah, he didn't stay on too long.
but I pull it up to watch anyway to see again where he had got to.
10:30.
And I skip ahead to the end of the feed, and then it's just, that's it. It's just like it was just cut. So I was like, what?
What? This doesn't seem right.
Chris.
What happened?
Go ahead, Chris.
So I'm in the middle of the stream and I'm like working towards the final boss, and I beat a level. I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, apparently I itched my my foot forward and did not realize that the surge protector was right there, and it completely just cut off all my electronics at once. So that was the end of the stream. So I was like thinking, I think I'm right there at the end. I went and called it for the night because it was like 10:30, 10:40, and I was like, I want to watch another
At the
episode.
end of the first level?
And I wanted to watch another episode from the Earth to the Moon, if I'm being honest, before I went to bed. So I got home at lunch today, right? Went to lunch, picked up some lunch, came back here, and sat down. And I was like, all right, I'll finish it now, or else I'll be right there. And then like right after work before the show, I should be able to probably run the last level or two, unless I just somehow suck at this. And I go and I fire up the game and I go to hit continue and it's grayed out. And apparently now my save file is gone.
Very good.
So,
You played on PC?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it could have been worse. You could have had blue and green lines on your TV last night.
That's true. I would rather have that. And to be fair, I don't feel terrible about it because one, it's not a heavy story game. I think you agree with that, Geoff. And like two, it's not like a super long game. So if I really do just feel like sitting down and getting there, it would be like an afternoon.
Just YouTube the ending.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I definitely thought about it.
Yeah, I'm not very good at timing a game like Chris or you guys, in terms of 6 hours, 12 hours, 30, whatever.
Most of the time I lie.
I figured.
I usually just, depending on, some games will tell you. The rest of the time I just usually go, there's a website for those, if you're ever wondering how long a game is on average. It's called
it's about 12 inches with girth. What happened? What?
It's howlongtobeat.com, and just you go in there, type whatever game, and it will show you what people like at different stages. Like, did you just do the main story? Did you rush it? Did you just kind of play at your leisure, or were you trying to do everything? Were you trying to get platinum on it or something? And it will show you all the different
games.
Howlongtobeat.com.
Yes.
I'm going to type that in tomorrow at work and see what happens.
Is this, well, either way.
Go through Google. Just that'd be the way it's.
No, but I figured it's about 3 hours ish.
It's not long
If you sat down and played straight through. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Especially if you're just like, you're not even focused on like the score.
Right.
Like you're just going through, and as long as there are a couple of levels. There's one section of the game I would say is a pain that took me a little bit, right? But the rest of them, like, once you understand what you're doing, it's just like, okay, keep going, just keep going.
Well, set it up for us. Tell us about the game.
I want to know. I want to know who is Pedro and why is he your friend?
You are Pedro. Is that what it is? No, the banana is Pedro.
Banana's
huh?
Pedro.
Okay, so
Bananas!
you are a dude that I believe is nameless then. And then you have this little banana named Pedro. He's your friend. And basically, Pedro kind of encourages you to murder who's ever.
You basically wake up in a warehouse, and Pedro tells you, "It was about time you woke up.
Yeah,
let's get busy."
Pedro's a banana.
Yeah, it's wicked. Yeah.
And you get the sense of like it never directly says it. At least I don't know. Maybe it does at the end, but like it never really says that why these people are a threat or anything. You more so get the sense that you are the threat, and now everyone's just responding like, look, this dude's been going around killing everyone. First person to like murk this guy, here's $10 million you can have, so everyone is out to get you now.
Right.
Well, I'm going to tell you, by the end, you do get a little more story.
Okay.
There is an explanation as to why you're doing what you're doing.
Nice going, Chris.
It's not a
It's
lot.
not huge. It's like Katana Zero or something like that.
Right. But and even Pedro the banana is right.
This is funny.
It's questionable whether or not he's even a physical character or if he's more or less just some kind of mental manifestation.
They have that part early on in the game, like where he just comes out and he's like, "Hey, come with me real quick," and you like pop into this weird room, and he's like, "This is where I go when I'm not with you," and it's just like this weird room, and you're like, "What is this?"
Right.
And there's a whole entire section of this game that is the weirdest visuals I've seen in a game in a while, as far as background, where I'm like, what the is that in the background? And so trippy. You definitely get the sense of, I don't think he's really real. I think he's a figment of his imagination. He's having some sort of psychosis thing going on.
So it's like do you call it a side-scrolling platformer?
It's like, I would say part side scrolling. It reminds me a lot of Shadow Complex, but
Never heard of
it. Yes, it does.
It reminds me a lot of Shadow Complex, but with like taking that and combining it with like a physics engine that is very distinct. Like, it's not the most hardcore physics engine. It's not like something like Getting Over or Total Accurate Battle Simulator or, Goat Simulator, those kinds of things. But it's definitely like this thing where movement and momentum very much you're not going to just jump straight up. You're always like going in a direction, and like you can't just suddenly tell yourself to slow down because you're like, oh, I'm jumping too far. You know, you need to time it right.
And the whole time I played, I'm thinking, you know, this is Matrix.
Yes.
Meets John Wick, right? I mean, you got
it's like two Keanu Reeves,
guns of all types, and it's all about your style. Your cross arm, your split arm shooting, your
it
jumping,
feels like
your
a John
flipping,
Woo.
your
Keep talking.
That's the best way to say it. It's like it feels like a John Woo film.
Yeah.
Who's John Woo?
John Woo is
Face Off.
I'm kidding.
Broken Arrow.
Unfortunately,
kidding.
Mission Impossible 2.
You can die.
And there's a motorcycle in
you.
this.
Let me ask you this, Chris. When you played through, and I'm not, because we always joke about Chris playing on easy mode, but in all honesty, when you played, what mode did you play on? Did you start it? Because I think the base level is normal.
Yeah, just did regular. And my guess is that if you actually want to achieve the high scores, you have to play at the higher difficulties. But I definitely could see like the fun of that.
Like, I don't think there's a lesser level, difficulty level. It starts with normal, regular, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what I kicked it off in. And I felt like it's an introductory level to be able to just kind of move on through.
Yeah.
Did you get the same feeling?
For
because
sure.
it's almost like you're going to die a couple times, but really and truly, if you just kind of just play through, you're not going to die at that level. And it's all about what kind of score you can accumulate. My first and only at this point playthrough, I wasn't focused on score.
Same.
I would, my average rating was a C rating because it rates you at the end of the game, at the end of the level.
I think I got 1 S in all my playthroughs so far, that was a boss fight. So
at the end, I finished with a couple A's.
Yeah.
But,
and I could definitely see like when you come back. Like I said, my guess is because from my understanding, the biggest differences with the difficulties, right? I think if you go on the next tier higher, you only get 2 bars of health versus 3, right? Okay. And then the top one is only 1 bar of health and it doesn't regenerate. So you can they say like they're consistently dropping you hearts and all that so you can find those. But like right now, when you're just on the base difficulty, like you have those 3 bars of health. And if you lose one of them, it won't come back until you find health. But like if you're halfway down on one, once you stop, it regens back. But of course, the trade-off and why that matters is that this game is all about building up multiplier. So as you wait to regen your health or go back to get ammo that's behind you or something like that, you're basically sacrificing your multiplier. Because I see what the game is at its highest level. It's like, it's mastering movement and how you use your mechanics and how you decide to kill people so that you just consistently, as you go through a level, are building and building and building this multiplier. And, when you get to the end, it just goes, hey, whatever your score is times 150, whatever it is, multiplier. And you see your score just skyrocket to like 1 million points or something. Like right. That's obviously what the end goal is for those who become masters of this game.
And playing on the Switch, I don't guess it was really any different in this aspect, but playing on the Switch, what the game does, it forces you to go into that slow-mo mode. And it wants you to really do a flip in slow mode, throw all your guns 360, do your blast, and you get extra points for that. Yes. But that was the only thing I saw in the beginning was like, okay, when you go into slow-mo and you go to flipping, it's really almost like some ragdoll physics.
Yeah, it's a lot of ragdoll.
But yeah, I'm watching, as you guys talk, I'm watching the intro video. Like as soon as you meet Pedro and you go from side to side and you have to do your first wall jump, even that first wall jump kind of looks ragdollish. Yes. It's pretty.
It's not like pure. This is not Mario platforming in physics. This is kind of just, look. Here's this weird physics engine.
In all truth, this is the first I've ever seen of My Friend Pedro. Right now, it never was on my radar. I didn't care even when I knew we were going to talk about it. Never looked at it.
It popped up on mine like,
dude, he looks like Daft Punk.
Yeah.
The music.
The dude looks like Daft Punk.
Yeah, music in this game is top notch.
Why didn't you tell me that? I'm playing this game.
I don't know, because you automatically dismiss and hate these things.
This is a fair point. I'm almost done.
But not Final Fantasy 14 Storm Cloud, whatever it's called.
Dragon Quest Builders 2 has Daft Punk music.
What?
There you go.
I know
he's lying to you.
What? John would never lie to me.
Let's go to the tape.
Tell him, John.
What's a tape?
Yeah. But yeah, music in this game, it surprised me because there are some parts that are really weird, but then there are other parts where I was like, man, is this like 1997 Friday night? Am I about to drive to Atlanta and just like do a bunch of things I'm going to regret in the morning? Going to raves and all that kind of stuff. It definitely has that cool beat, but it works for this because,
dude,
the gun audio sounds great. So that combined with the music is really, throw some headphones on and crank it up. It sounds really good.
You want to just like keep rushing forward. Like it puts you in that mode of being John Wick, like where you're just like, I'm not stopping. Why would I go get that health behind me? I'm going forward. I'm murdering everyone.
Through the little bit of audio or video I watched you play on Twitch.
Sure.
It looked like you were moving at a pretty fast pace.
Yeah.
And it seemed like you got some higher score multipliers than I was getting.
Yes.
Like maybe because
he's better than you.
Yeah, apparently. I was trying to figure out what is it wanting me to do here to really drive up that score. And there's all kind of things you can do, but seems like you were really driving that score by keeping a fast paced movement through there.
The three things are consistently kill, like don't let time go between kills if you can. Get through the level as fast as possible because there's a time bonus for that, and don't die because you get a no death bonus too. Those are, if you do those three things, that'll be how you get your high scores.
And you found the skateboard.
Yeah. Oh my God, the skateboard. I wish though, like it's kind of there, but it's not perfectly explained. I'm like, right. I could tell like if I can nail this and figure out exactly everything to do with it, I could probably ride this through 3/4 of the level.
You're giving me a skateboard.
Yeah.
What exactly are you wanting me to do with it?
Yeah.
Because you can just drop the skateboard and keep moving on.
Yeah, you don't have to do it, but like that's where it gets crazy with this game because you're thinking it's just going to be guns, right? You're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a shotgun, I'm going to get some Uzis, some dual pistols, whatever, and all of a sudden then you start to realize, oh wait, I can kick things. And like I can kick up this frying pan, and first I can like kick a dude that's in front of me and decapitate him. But I could also kick it up, and if someone was coming out behind me, I could shoot at the frying pan, and it will ricochet the bullets back and hit him.
Tell the truth. Did that get explained to you somewhere, or did you just naturally find that? Because I never used that mechanic, and later I had read somewhere, and I was like, that's why the random frying pan's laying around.
I didn't use it for a while. And then what made me figure it out was when there's a part in the game where they do start like putting these big signs out and you have to shoot them like in order to progress, to go forward,
correct,
to like hit switches and things like that. And that's when I'm like, oh wait, there's ricochet in this. And I was like, and sure enough, yeah, I just kicked up the frying pan. It's like, let me just try this. And that's when you're like, oh my God, this is what I like about these kind of games. Dude. Is just tons of little experimentation. There are barrels throughout the level that you can just jump on. And if you roll the right way, they'll move and like they can go down and crush someone. There are explosive canisters throughout that you can either toss or you just, as you're jumping through the air, instead of aiming at the people right there, you aim for the canister and it just starts blowing everyone up.
It was so satisfying to be a level above two guys. You go in slow-mo, jump off the level, you're spinning in slow-mo upside down, you throw your guns out to the side like this and just start just blasting both of them. Loved it.
Yeah. And then I like how once you, like the dual pistols and Uzis come very early. And that's a very nice mechanic because basically you can go ahead and just look below you, lock onto one guy and jump down and aim your right stick at the other guy that you're aiming at, and he'll naturally, no matter what, he's always going to fire at that other guy for you that you're holding down the left trigger to kind of lock onto. But you're thinking like, okay, so I'm always going to go with this. And then as you get a little bit later in the game, they start introducing things like the shotgun and kind of the LMG gun. And then you start to like weigh which one is the better setup regardless of what is in front of you. You know, like, should I use dual pistols for this, or should I instead use one of the more powerful guns because these enemies have a lot of armor and stuff, and these guns will pretty much one shot those guys versus the Uzis where it's going to take a clip.
What was the max level gun you found before you?
The LMG was the last one I had gotten to.
You never found the sniper rifle?
No, I haven't got. Oh, dang it! I can't wait for that.
It's one shot.
See, then that's awesome.
And the funny thing about it is they don't make it like most games where it's like a one shot, then you got to reload. No, you get about 30 shots with it, and it was satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good word from what I've watched and from what I kind of gather. Mm-hmm. This game is going to be amazingly satisfying.
This whole topic is satisfying.
Isn't it? There's a banana and you're like...
I'm feeling fulfilled as a woman, and I think I'm going to play this. I mean, a man. I'm going to play this game.
I want to play this
sure.
game. Why didn't we play this game?
It's been on my radar. I just...
Not on mine at all.
It seemed a little...
You know, Chris comes out and he says, hey, there's this game coming out. Let's go.
Yeah, but Chris... You play games that you do that a lot on, and we go...
He plays pretentious games, let's be honest.
Those pretentious games of small indie games.
Right.
Like Inside.
Nutsack.
Inside.
For free right now on Xbox One for Games with Gold.
And recommend it. Except that ending. Just stop.
No. You have to experience the nutsackage.
So much.
Did you ever play Inside?
Yes, I did.
So
I know the big rolling nutsack. Yeah.
You know about the nutsackage.
You're just doing that and you're just like, what the...
And everybody listening going, what does your nutsack look like?
Personally, I had so many hopes for that game, and it just turned into a nutsack.
Yeah. Literally.
That's the thing about it. What else do you remember?
It's a huge tea bag.
How long did you take to beat this game?
I'd say altogether 3 hours.
Yeah, you could beat it right away.
I'm telling you, it's worth it, dude.
I got some bad news.
Play what?
There's a speed run out there. 0 deaths.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I'm sure.
1 hour, 32 minutes.
Yeah, they had whatchamacallit this weekend. Good Games Done Quick was this weekend. Everyone was
Pedro?
wondering. Someone did this. Yeah, like they pretty much whatever's new is always played at those things.
Lies.
But it's by the way, if you're wondering what that is for those who are out there who don't know, basically is a weekend they do about every quarter across the United States, and it's just people trying to beat world records on speed runs. Yeah. And I mean, like you will see I saw someone beat Prey, you know, John loved Prey. I saw someone beat Prey in about like 12 minutes. And just like,
that's how the heck you have to take advantage of a glitch or something?
Yes, basically like they know how to maneuver.
I don't consider that stuff real speed.
Yeah,
I've seen somebody beat Metroid.
It's impressive. Don't get me wrong.
Super Metroid in like minimal time, like 17 minutes.
Someone beating like
Ocarina of Time by manipulating the.
There wasn't even that.
This wasn't manipulation. This was like just running through the...
Yeah, people own that game.
Yeah, I've seen people beat Link to the Past in like 48 minutes without any glitch. And, you know, they know the best path and they're completely perfect.
It took my teenage years to beat that game. And I do it in 42 minutes now.
Holden's nowhere near that kind of time, but with Breath of the Wild, he's played through it so many times that he's found paths that he just...
Yeah,
he's finished it probably about 6 times.
What was it? I think Fallout.
That's crazy.
Penny just showed us her Link to the Past.
How many times?
Whenever,
how many times has Sean finished Breath of the Wild?
0.
Exactly.
But where's Sean at? Death Mountain. He's finally ready to take that guy. I need ice arrows, and I forget how to go.
Up, Horizon Zero Dawn. They've got ice arrows in there. They might help you. I think they do.
They don't have ice arrows.
Didn't you fire it up?
Resident Evil 7?
The people told me not to open Horizon Zero Dawn.
Don't listen to the people.
The people have spoken.
They spoke.
It breaks my heart personally, but the people have spoken.
Now the poll is out there. Well, no, it's a 24-hour
like a good poll. Like a good poll.
Yeah, it is. A little long poll, you know?
Yeah. Ring around the rosy baby.
Resident Evil 7's waiting on you to play it in VR with me.
So my friend Pedro. As far as things I didn't like, though, it's not a perfect game. For one, I think the story, you know, I get it. Like, the story's kind of just there, right? And as you said, there's probably a little bit more. But, like, the thing that did disappoint me was that, did you ever watch any of the trailers leading up to it or anything like that?
I don't think so.
This thing first got announced at Devolver Digital's E3, which, if you've never watched a Devolver Digital E3 press conference, you are missing out. That is the most crazy thing you'll ever watch. Because they're not like real things. They're just kind of like a video presentation that's mocking everything going on with E3, which is great. But like it got announced there 2 years ago, and the whole entire time the Banana Pedro was actually narrating and saying things. And like here in the actual finished product, he just kind of, it's all text and you're just hearing whenever he's talking, and it kind of gets annoying First off, it's not a good tone. But I was just like, man, I would really have liked to have had that voice actor from that trailer come in here and do these lines. Like, that would make it better to me. The other thing is that as we talked about the ragdoll physics, there's one section in this game where, because of that, that is heavy platforming. I think you know which one I'm talking about too, kind of like the Dreamscape one. I hated that. Yeah. That part was a pain because it's a lot of having to figure out how to open things, and you have to be perfect in precision of what you're doing. And like, I had times when I would die, right? And then when it respawned me, it would put me on a platform that would just immediately disappear before I could react.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dear Lord, that's not cool.
Yeah, I experienced that a little bit. I remember what you're talking about. It spawns you, and you've got a hair of a second to jump because you know that's what you need to do, or else it's just fall through. Yeah.
Well, basically what Geoff just said in between the lines to you was to get good. That's what I heard.
But he was just asking me how you get the high scores.
Oh.
But I think for the price point, it definitely is worth those shortcomings.
If you're a person that likes these kind of games, like, to me, this is in the vein of, at its core, right, is something like Pac-Man or old school, like Metal Gear Solid, in the sense of, like, where you're like, how well can I do this? Like, the story there's a story there, but it's more about how can I be stylish and take the tools that they've given me and do them to the best of my abilities and get the highest score. Because there's leaderboards on there, so you can see everyone else's score. And that would be cool. Like, I almost want to buy this game on Switch now just to go and be like, hey, Geoff, beat all your scores. Yeah. And then he'll go, oh, okay. And then 2 days later, come back, hey, Chris, beat all your scores.
Well, the thing is, now that I've learned the mechanics and I know what the game's pushing me to do, now I'm interested. And I don't really generally do replays. I want to kind of go back on this one and replay some of the first levels and go, I see what you got me doing here, and see what kind of scores I can get. And
would you guys say, like,
I want to go back and ride that motorcycle.
Is it like John Wick meets Trials?
A little bit. Yeah, that's it. That's fair.
You know what I mean? Trials, Geoff?
Yeah,
bike
I know what you're talking about.
Geoff is, I was thinking of games that Geoff has played.
Do you like Trials?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him say he doesn't.
Trials is the jam.
It's a game that you play, and for a little while till you get a little irritated, then you put it down and you come back and you start playing again. Yeah. Rinse and repeat.
That's what's good about it. Like, you don't need to know a story. You just pick it up and be like, okay. It's more of like, it's getting the feeling back. That's the hard part from playthrough to playthrough, right?
Got to get that feeling back.
Yeah. The best way to describe it game-wise would be, to me, Shadow Complex meets Trials. That's probably the best way to say it.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
To me, is if I'm recommending the game for whatever it's worth. I'm a consoles guy, Xbox, PS4, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I pick up my Switch when I have a reason to pick up my Switch, something that's going to interest me. So I go to times that, months on end that I'm not playing my Switch.
How dare you.
We're sorry.
It's just,
you should at least power it up and say hello, check the eShop, and turn it off.
You never know, dude.
That's what I rely on you guys for.
Is that a
plug?
That's Weekly Game Chat. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah, but this is one I definitely, if you're anything like me, this is definitely one to pick up your Switch and play, because for the price, it's a time killer. It's fun. What was it? Was it $19.99?
I think so, because I got it. The reason I got it on Steam was that for whatever reason they offered me like a discount code on it, so I got it for like $13. I think the original might have been $19.
You holding out discount codes for us? Are you holding out on us?
No, I think they just.
I think
they
John.
literally just had it for pre-order. Is what it was. If you pre-ordered on Steam,
the pre-order said, "Hey, Weekly Game Chat, here are your 3 codes for discounts."
And I said,
and then he honked the other 2.
Delete.
The levels themselves are completable within a minute and a half run, 2-minute run.
It's a poop game.
So it is definitely a poop.
Did you play it on the pooper?
My Switch might have remnants from the air.
Poop mist.
Yeah.
And you're criticizing my relationship with my dog. Wait, what?
Yeah.
So some of the things I see, short but so incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
A shooter that knows when to stop. S rankings? Like, do you think S rankings matter? Like, I know y'all talked about them, but do you think somebody like me who doesn't care?
They wouldn't matter to me.
It's more of like, it's how far do you want to
I can continue. It doesn't like penalize me. If I'm like, I don't want to.
If you want to be a baby,
now.
you can be a baby.
What does that mean?
You're going to be a baby in this game.
I'll be your baby.
Like I said,
guys,
rankings meant nothing to me for the first playthrough.
Yeah.
But I am interested in going back and seeing what I can do with that. Yeah.
So need everyone to leave.
I wish you had played it on PC, and I wish you had played it on Switch, so we could get it. I'm saying both.
Oh yeah.
So we could really get a feel on is it dominant on PC, or is it?
I'm sure it'll sell very well on Switch.
Yeah. PC, I know it was number one when it came in. And I think I saw a story on on Steam, on their Steam page, right? For the game where it said it sold 250,000 copies in its first week.
Is that right?
Did very well for
times $19.99.
Yeah.
It's coming to PS4 around the 20th, maybe?
I think so, yeah. And the one thing I need to go back and try this game now with a mouse and keyboard, because there is part of me that like once I started like looking at it, I was like, I could actually see how playing this with mouse and keyboard, this is actually the perfect way. If you can nail it down, like those are going to be where the speed runs.
I'll be honest with you, I don't remember where I saw this game, but I looked up a YouTube video and because I thought it was only available on Steam, which is only PC, and I was going to check it out there, and I watched it on YouTube, and I said, there's no way I'm going to try to play this on PC. It's not my cup of tea on PC. Yeah. But when I saw it was on Switch, I was like, now you got me.
I mean, the other reason I did, though, I could use my Xbox controller with it, so that's why I did on PC. That made my life easier.
The only turn off,
right? Yeah, I knew. Okay.
The only turn off for me, and only from perception, it seems like it would break immersion for me, is that ragdoll thing.
For sure,
it just would. I don't know. It would just look fake.
The only time you get that is in your jumps. That's really the only time you feel that.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say in Trials there's like that ragdoll mechanic when you crash.
Yeah.
But it doesn't affect it. It's just part of Trials, and I think even watching the YouTube video I just watched while they were talking it, I don't think it takes you out of the immersion. I think it is what it is, and
it's more of it makes you realize when because as I said, like, if you want to get the highest multipliers, you have to have movement down. And it's a great judge of like where you're screwing up, because like there are times where to get to the next person, you have to parkour through a jump area very quickly. And when you screw up, you just know it. You know it right away. And you're like, and you're not going to get there. Versus like when you're in combat and you're just jumping off a ledge to down to an area, especially if you're using slow-mo, there's no part of the ragdoll physics that is going to get in your way. You're just going to be like, because you're literally just holding down triggers trying to kill everything around you. And the aim itself is not ever ragdoll. It's wherever you're pointing to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if I held out my hand, would you guys slap your Richard on it?
Oh.
I would consider that, yeah.
Mine's poking Sean right now.
I can't talk.
Free Bear 614. He's, you know what? He's in first, or From the Earth to the Moon too. I totally forgot that. He's Alan Shepard.
Oh, when I had
Ted Levine.
When I had my bronchitis, Jeff, I called both of them on a Saturday.
He did.
Just so I can say to them,
Would you do me?
Would you?
Let's hear it.
I can't. I don't have.
His voice is gone.
My congestion was just perfect. I sounded like Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, he puts the lotion in the basket.
I have to feel like he's got to be like the nicest person because of that
Ted
movie.
Levine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ted Levine.
He's like, I swear, I'm not really.
My name's Ted Levine.
It's so weird.
I'm not really like that, you know.
It's so weird watching him on Monk.
Yeah,
He's the captain. It's just
Who watches Monk?
dude. Monk is amazing.
He had
Ladies and gentlemen,
I remember when I lived
write
with
us
him,
a
he had this
letter
period.
and tell Sean how amazing Monk is.
He's got a Tony
Hey,
Shalhoub.
all of the other Seans who hate Monk also write in to bash Monk.
John literally has a Tony Shalhoub poster in his
Shaloub.
room. Or is that what it is? I
See,
don't know.
only pretentious people who watch Monk correct when you say Shaloop versus Shalop.
We
Right.
might have an
This actually started out about
employee at our company
Richards. Oh,
who's related
Fun fact alert!
to Tony Shalhoub.
that's funny.
Like a 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon related.
Like 2
Like
degrees.
cousins.
Like straight up, like family, bro.
Like cousins.
Like Fast and Furious. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Richards, guys. Richards.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I want your Richard.
I would go
now.
with, I'm going to go with a solid 8.0. I think it's like, to me, it's not the most amazing thing. Like, I wish it was maybe a little bit longer.
Story of his life.
Like, especially because I was thinking I was right at the end last night.
He's
and especially
Irish.
now hearing that you did like in 3 hours, like, yeah, I had to be right there, so I would like to have been longer. And like I said, it would have been nice. And I think it would have really helped with the jokes because there's a lot of jokes in here and some of them are better than others. Again, if there had been some voice acting and that had been solid, it would have delivered, especially when you get to the part with gamers and all of that. I'm talking about hardcore gamers are your enemies in this. So like that part would have came over better. But besides that, like for something that it's just a game where you're talking about, again, like here's this ragdoll physics thing and then these cool slow-mo shooting stuff like Max Payne and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, for $20 or especially if this goes on sale this fall at some point for like $12, buy it if you like this stuff.
Jeff, since you gave Resident Evil 2 a 6 or something
On the
6.5,
Jeff
I
scale,
think it was.
yeah.
I don't really respect your opinion, but go ahead.
Well,
That's because it's his game of the year. By the way.
because this is only like a 3-hour-ish game, and considering the price and the whole big picture, I think it did a good job of what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
It kept me entertained. It was a good game. I recommend it. I'm going to go 7.75.
Oh, wow. Tough judge.
7.75
Blows Res
7.5.
2 out of the water.
It did. You son of a...
Do you know how big an extra Richard from Jeff, what that means?
If this game had been
Like 8-10 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would expect it a lot more.
You probably give Division 2 a 3.
No, I like Division 2.
Have you heard of John Rambo?
I wish I could.
He's a legend. Have you got to play with John Rambo in the Dark Zone?
We played together, didn't we?
Yeah, a couple times.
I need to
so.
see John Rambo in the Dark Zone. It needs to happen.
I haven't touched the Dark Zone.
By the
actually.
way, John,
I haven't played it in a while.
I
have
forgot
I?
to tell
you
your check from Capcom came in today
I don't get it.
for his 10 for Resident Evil.
Oh, Resident Evil 2?
Yeah. Bring it back.
See, I don't even know yet whether Division or Resident Evil 2 is my game of the year. I'm not
God,
sure.
what a
It's
weak year when that's the choice.
Division 2 is solid, man.
Very solid.
Hey,
It is a good game.
don't bash that game, dude. All
you
right?
still playing it?
No, but that's because John Rambo's not playing it.
Are you guys still playing it?
Dude,
Negative.
anytime you want
After
to
that
play it,
first
you let
raid-
me know.
But I
See,
heard there's another
yeah.
a second raid coming.
Yeah, I've heard they
Maybe.
That one will only take you 90 hours to figure out.
And 5 million bullets.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, though, right?
Sponge.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want a game where it's like, this has to be your life to do it.
If you were a good producer,
So, Sekiro, is that your game of the year?
no doubt. But
Probably
if
at this
if this was my podcast and I had a great producer I could rely on, I'd say at this point, QN Backstreet Boys, I want it that way.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, Jeff.
Sir.
I just want you to know that the game time for the Chick-fil-A kickoff has been changed to 3:30 p.m. on Saturday.
What was it originally?
I don't know. Maybe it was like 4 or 4:30.
What Saturday?
August 31st.
Okay.
I'm there.
You
You can
guys
go to
have,
Dragon Con while we're up there if you want.
you guys have fun.
Is it the same weekend?
Yeah, Tony always tells me that because he's like, it's interesting. He says it's interesting for us because the hotel he's always at is like this meeting point, right? Like where half the people there are in town because they're going to the game, and the other half are all there for Dragon Con.
What a total contrast.
Right? just
A Dragon Con.
But the thing is, he's like, everyone's like, look,
Nice.
he's like, everyone there, regardless, is just drunk.
yeah, that's true. No matter what,
So
it's nice. Well, guys, I mean, literally, you've made me want to play the game, which is what that's what your job is, to tell us about it and whether or not we should play it or not. And fantastic coverage, guys.
I think if we covered Tic-Tac-Toe, he'd want to play it.
Not true. Tic-Tac-Toe is the most overrated game of all time.
that's funny. Do you guys want to do some news?
Do I?
Do you guys want to do some news?
Hey, let's do some news.
A new jingle.
Okay, there you go.
Hot off the press and straight to your ears. Weekly Games Chat presents the news.
Totally almost missed that.
Yeah,
I got why I said 3.
It got hot.
It got hot quick. Well, because he goes 3, 2, 1, no, and we're like, oh yeah. All right, so
who's first?
Did I go first last time?
You did. It's technically my turn, but
do it, man.
I don't have the news ready. We gotta. Hey, got some filler.
It's literally right there.
It's so hard to read. I need.
All you gotta do is turn your mic.
I know. I need you to bring it here.
I can't really help you on that.
Can you bring it here?
You could just like swing around here.
Hey, this is not.
Swing it right there.
I got it, man.
Well, John, why don't you start then?
Nope.
Right.
Hey, let this thing be what it is, Chris.
Let Sean
just let it be what it is.
I'll just read this.
New hardware for Nintendo. Nintendo has announced the Nintendo Switch Lite. The new version of the system will release on September 20th, 2019, with 3 color options. Right now, you're wondering which one I like the most. I'm not going to tell you yet. Visibly, the new system features a smaller 5.5 inch.
That's about average.
That's about John's length. Touchscreen, lighter design with no
That's lower than Resident Evil 2.
with no Joy-Con controllers, but they look like they're Joy-Cons, huh?
Oh yeah.
A D-pad style control pad and an improved 3 to 7 hour battery life. The system will also have no IR or HD rumble functions. Hey, that HD rumble function, you're going to miss it. It's legit. The system will also, finally, I'm going to skip because I just read that again. Finally, there will be no ability to dock to TV or play in tabletop mode. That's because it's kind of like just a system you hold in your hands.
It's exactly like that.
It's just like that. The system will be available in yellow, gray, and turquoise for $199.99.
That's turquoise.
Turquoise. I like the yellow.
Turquoise.
According to Doug Bowser, greatest name ever for anyone at Nintendo. Quote, adding Nintendo Switch Lite to the lineup gives gamers more color and price point options. Now consumers can choose the system that best suits how they like to play their favorite Nintendo Switch games. End quote.
It isn't the whole entire point of Switch that you can choose how you want to play your games.
Let's give you more. Chris is, I think you and I like this. We thought it's going to be a seller.
You know? Yeah, it's definitely going to be.
I don't need it.
It's not, I'm not going to get one. It's not for me, but it's, when
the 3DS
I think it's
was
for
out,
Japan.
Possibly.
And it's for people who are solely Pokemon users.
Yeah. But like at the same time, if you already own a Switch, I don't know, like for most people, right? Outside of people just want one because they're a collector and they're like, I love Nintendo and this is out there and that looks beautiful. Like, I don't know why you're buying this if you already own one. It would be because I'd be like, well, it's more mobile. I'm like, well, the Switch is mobile.
Some people really care. Hardcore people really care about that D-pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wishing
nice.
that version of it was on the, like an updated Switch would come out with that D-pad on it.
Well, at least a Joy-Con, like release a Joy-Con that you can stick onto the Switch that has that D-pad option.
It feels like this is the unofficial replacement now for 3DS, right?
You bring up 3DS and this releasing reminds me of when the 2DS option came out when owners had the 3DS. It was the same kind of hardware, a little different, a little less expensive for you. It took away some of the features.
Well, the big thing was like kids under, was it 7 or 8 aren't supposed to use the 3D that they have on there. So it was like, here's a version for them, which is why it's designed for a kid.
I still love how they just go, you know what, if you're 7 or 8, not safe for VR.
Yeah.
No, I mean, one thing to consider is this holiday, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are going to be at their lowest price points. I mean, this is going to be a year where they're going to move units. And we love a good unit,
and we love when
based on those low price points. And this is a smart way of Nintendo answering that, to have that $200 price option.
Yeah.
And if you remember that when the 3DS originally released, do you remember how much that thing was?
$200, wasn't it?
$250.
Yeah, it was a lot.
They lowered that price to $199 very quickly. So this is the right price, and it's a nice option for a parent who's looking for a handheld system for their kid.
I want to say
particularly when they want Pokemon this year.
When I looked earlier today, they had Amazon on Prime Day because it's still Prime Day where we are.
Yeah.
They had that. They had that new digital. Yeah, it ends today. Yeah. That new digital only Xbox for it was insanely cheap. They had some really good crazy deal.
That's the one that friend of the show or friend in real life was going to buy. He realized though that one again had no option to put a disc in.
Yeah,
and it was a game changer for him because he's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Now, I think this is an obvious move. I think it's a smart move. Just an additional move to keep the Switch relevant.
Yeah.
I I honestly thought, and this goes to show that a lot of the rumblings you hear about companies making announcements, they often, in some form, come to fruition.
Yeah, this has been rumbled forever.
Yeah.
This and the other one.
I just wish that it would have been more of a upgraded Switch, lower the current Switch's price and give me, I don't know.
Yeah, like, because it's like I said, I get it if that is the only thing you want as a mobile device, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's what made the Switch great is that you have this ability to take a device and it go from home to work to wherever. And if they had made that the light version, but it could still work at home, right? And it still had detachable Joy-Cons and all that, then I would be like, okay, that's cool because you made something that's a little bit more portable, but has all those same features. But instead, you really just made a slimmed down portable only version of the console. So it's not like, for me, as someone who owns one, there's not something there that's really enticing. And if I'm someone who doesn't own it and I want to play games at home, I'm going to get the main one. Like, there's just no reason to buy this unless literally that's the only reason.
Absolutely fair point. This is, I don't think Nintendo is assuming that Switch owners are going to adopt this. I don't think that's their goal. I think they're trying to they're trying to replace a lost market because the 3DS is waning. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard on a podcast, specifically IGN's Andrew Garfep. His Twitter handle's Garfep, but it's he's the head of news. It's not Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew. I know you're talking about.
Anyway,
he used to be on Podcast Beyond.
They talk about him all the time, and he talks about the fact that he has never docked his Switch. And I hear that kind of stuff.
Crazy.
I hear that kind of stuff all the time.
I live in a city.
I've talked to people.
City.
I live in a real city.
I've talked to people who never dock their Switch. There are people out there who want that exclusive. They consider this a handheld. So there's an audience out there that they can tap into, and we love a good tap.
Yeah.
That you can tap into to gain a foothold on a market that they're potentially losing. They cannot just give up the 3DS market. That would be silly. But they're doing what they can to fill it.
To get to what Sean said, though, I agree with you. I would have, as a gamer, I would have preferred them to first. Like, I could see this eventually coming, right? But I wish it had been the other way around, where it's like, okay, this fall the more powerful version is coming out, and it's there for those who you want. We're going to drop the price on the base Switch, and now you have this thing like where, we've got problems right now. You've had problems with Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Mm-hmm. And then you think of, like, as much as, I would like to play Witcher 3 on there. There is that point where it's like, hey, when you're mobile, it's 540p. No. And you go like, man, if I could have one instead that when it's mobile is 720p. And then maybe like when I dock it is 960p. That's better for that game, right? So it'd be nicer to see the more stronger one.
Well, I'll respond to that after we read the second piece of news. Yeah. So for now, as far as the Nintendo Switch Lite, that's all we get. So Nintendo has said that the Switch Lite will be the only hardware update this year. And in talking to CNET, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser commented that the original Switch hardware won't get an upgrade right now. This goes against a report from the Wall Street Journal, which stated that both a cheaper and, quote, enhanced version of the Nintendo Switch would be released as early as this summer. Now, Bloomberg announced in contrast that the more powerful Switch was not in the works, but instead a modest upgrade to the console. With that, Nintendo has made a request to quietly upgrade the Nintendo Switch with modest upgrades to battery life and the system's CPU board. This means that Nintendo is looking to slightly upgrade the NVIDIA Tegra processor or the SoC for a newer one. Ooh. In response to the idea that the stronger system should have come out this year, I just fundamentally disagree with that. I think it's coming out next fall as an answer to the brand new consoles coming out.
But no one's going to care about it then. That's the thing.
I completely disagree with that.
If you're telling me next fall, like, and I say this.
What's the alternative?
Of all three that are coming out next fall, there's no question that the most anticipated piece of hardware will be the PlayStation 5.
But that's not the argument.
Yeah, we're not arguing that.
No one's suggesting that the Nintendo Switch Pro would beat the brand new consoles.
I don't think it would.
It is simply an answer.
We're not saying that.
But I would say if you'd released it this fall, where it's like, look, there is nothing, coming from Xbox or PlayStation. So to release one now, you have the money to do it. it's right there. If you've already bought the system, you might be willing to go and say, you know what, I really do like my Switch, and if I want, I just want a more powerful one. But if you own both, if you're someone who doesn't just play on Nintendo, if you play everywhere, right, I think you're going to be much more enticed going into next fall by having either a PlayStation 5 or Xbox or whatever the heck it's called, than you are just having a slightly upgrade version of a Switch. It's just not that much of an upgrade, right?
Are you saying that saving the Nintendo Switch Lite for next year is the better choice?
No, I would just put them both out this year, honestly. But
that's suicide. That gives the consumer an option of
Wii and Wii U again.
Three switches to choose from.
Sure.
And you're not sure which one to use.
Then put out the lighter Switch in the first half of next year.
To me, the clearer option is to give the consumer an answer to the more to the new generation of hardware by saying we're still here too. They're not going to beat their sales. They're not going to, and Nintendo knows that. But they're going to do a whole lot better, and they're going to position themselves a whole lot better for having a more powerful piece of hardware on the market when the new hardware comes out for Xbox and PlayStation 4.
And I thinking about the way they release it, they don't even want to compete in the same time frame as when those systems come out.
And according to PlayStation, they're not competing with Switch.
So Nintendo, when they released the Switch, it was like in March, right?
It was in March of 2017, I think.
Completely away from when anybody else was releasing anything. And that's what they're going to do again whenever they release the enhanced version of the Switch.
If they do that, then they're fine.
That's what they're going to do.
I think if they're coming back and they go, oh, hey, September of this year.
No.
Or next year,
that's
here comes some more powerful. I mean, that's basically when they're releasing this one.
Look, dude.
So, I think the strategy sound with the Nintendo Switch Lite coming this year, I think they're going to win the holiday. I really do.
I mean, they should win the holiday.
Yeah. So,
there's no reason.
If they're going to win the holiday this year, why bother with the Pro this year?
I was so hoping that was going to be a
everyone's
contrast
waiting for next year.
So we could have had a bet, because I do love a bet around forecasted sales on things. I know. That's why I was like, boring.
Well, I know. I know things about sales because I knew what the top selling game of last year was going to be.
And you guys tell me if I'm imagining this when this tweakage, so to speak, of the Switch.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that with the PlayStation 4 Pro?
Yeah, and that's basically
you were going after
the thing about whenever you make one of these systems, you can't just go in there and go like, okay, hey, we built this thing with a Tegra chip. Let's start a whole entire new one. It's kind of like, your motherboard on your PC, right? Your motherboard is built with certain limitations, and if you go and you look, even though you might have Intel chips and you can put better versions of that Intel chip, you can't all of a sudden just jump into a new generation that is completely got new different specs and is using different types of technology that are not built to work with that board, and put it in there and think it's going to work, right? You have to get something that actually fits. And that's basically what you're doing. You're just saying like, okay, before the Tegra chip we put in the original Switch that was affordable could do this level, but this is the maximum spec of what this chip could do. If we maximized everything, and we think we have now, right? So now let's sub it out and put that in.
Sweet Geoff, do you think
thoughts or prayers?
Do you think Holden might want a Nintendo Switch Lite?
No. What I'm thinking is, my brother, did Darren tell you he ordered a Switch today?
Yeah, I know. He ordered it actually yesterday.
Okay, and about 3 days ago, he was telling me he was considering doing so. But he started the conversation with, this new Switch Lite's out.
Yeah.
And I'm considering buying a Switch. And I was like, you don't want that. I was like, why are you getting a Switch? And, he told me for his reasons. And I said, get a Switch, get a regular Switch.
That's what they should call it. Switch regular.
Switch rag. So we got some updates for Division. We were talking about that earlier, huh?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
A new update, that's right, adds matchmaking for the Operation Dark Hours raid. They are also adding other improvements and 2 new missions. The DC Outskirts Expeditions update adds a new, quote, discovery difficulty mode to the Operations Dark Hours raid. Updates are also adding 2 new main missions, Camp White Oak and Manning National Zoo.
I know where White Oak is.
These are real things, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just...
and I guess I know that the National Zoo was called
apparently
Manning
I'm just
National
funny
Zoo.
when I read the news.
I wonder, you know what? Pandas confirmed? There are pandas at the National Zoo.
Maybe.
That's over near Potomac.
That's one of my favorite things I've heard.
Potomac.
Was it you that said that, or was it John?
I don't
Someone said Potomac. I can't remember who. And I was just like, oh, God.
Potomac. Opelika. Alabama.
You called, to be fair, John called Chattahoochee today the hooch, and I was
did.
like,
there was a whole thing.
And I was like, I'm driving over to punch you right now.
I didn't
for
feel
calling
like
it the
typing
hooch.
out Chattahoochee, but there was a thing going back and forth because the joke was in one sentence he talked me out of buying a 1X.
Yeah.
And then in the next breath he talked me into throwing my own 1S into the Chattahoochee River, but I said the hooch. And I felt when I typed it.
That is a nasty hooch.
And I called him.
And he called me out on it immediately. There are also new experiences called Expeditions, which are made up of 3 themed wings that players must complete on a weekly basis. Those are called your weeklies, that will unlock treasure rooms for players to claim rewards from. In addition, the creator-director is throwing around the possibility of a single-player spinoff. It's fine. We'll wait for Chris to get done.
Sorry.
It's just news that it's
I got a dog.
Yeah, it's fine.
Look, this is the alternative. Turn your head.
No.
Look, go on and look at it.
Julian Geraghty
Don't look at it.
stated, I'm going to tell everybody what you're doing, and it's going to be gross.
I just say Garrity. Maybe it gets Garrity.
I think it's Geraghty. So
Okay.
we're just going to say Julian Geraghty stated, quote, none of the stories have explored what a division agent sacrifices and what they go through mentally. This would make for a compelling story mode, possibly, maybe. They are seeking feedback on this through social media.
Sean, if you need to know what a division agent sacrifices and goes through,
I kind of got that.
ask me. I can tell you.
You are John Rambo.
So, Geoff, does this tweak your nipplage at all?
I haven't played Division 2 since that raid kind of killed my fire. So
They're really good doing
there's
that.
some new content coming out. This is going to pull us all back together. I'm in.
Okay.
Are you ready to go back to Anthem?
Chinese finger locks.
Negative.
Do you know what that means?
Kind of.
So you remember that is what it was officially called, right?
We created this.
The toy that you would
Yeah.
put your
Yeah.
fingers in, and you'd have to figure out how to get it out. You'd have to touch
your
your fingers
Richards.
to get it out.
Yeah, just don't put your finger in it.
So Geoff invented the
The version.
the Richard version of the finger lock toy.
I'm going to need to see a visual.
Well, we have proof.
You know what we also have proof of?
We're not ready to move on, but now we have to move on.
Microsoft has brought the Microsoft Joy-Cons. A new patent has been filed by Microsoft showing a new design for removable game controllers. That is so hot. That could function like Nintendo Joy-Con controllers. The patent was filed in 2017 and only just published by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The patent is for a charging device. However, the, quote, removable
Input modules.
What's happening?
end quote, the design chargers.
Terrible.
Let me try that again. However, the, quote, removable input modules, end quote, the design charges are controllers. I read this. I checked this.
Yeah. The
This
design
logically
charges
is a
are-
correct sentence.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the quotes. However, the removable input modules, the design charges, are controllers that can be attached to a touchscreen mobile device. Illustrations show the basic structure of a traditional Xbox controller that can be split into two halves. And I love a good split.
I wonder if that means like there'll just be a thing like where you could almost just have it together, then split it apart and have like a docking station for your phone, right? Like that's just kind of like a holder.
Yeah, I think it has
And
to
then
do
you
with
go-
the cloud service.
Yeah. And then it's like, hey, because, you know, they've already said like all their controllers are Bluetooth now, right? So
Are they still
obviously,
selling phones?
and you can use them with iPhones and Android phones, same with PlayStation. So it makes
Windows?
sense.
Yeah, are they still do they
Obviously,
still have a
they're
phone?
trying to condense
know.
this.
Do Windows still have phones?
Maybe. I
They were
don't know.
pretty cool phones, really. They have Google phones now.
Yeah, Google kind of won that.
Yeah, they won hands down.
They're like, we're going to have this cloud. That's what
Speaking
we
of Google, you know what's waiting for me at home? Alexa.
you know what's not waiting for you? Oh.
Too soon? Huh? Hashtag?
It's been 5 years, maybe 6. I don't remember.
Since when? You got a TV? Because that was my
I
joke.
thought he was segueing into the.
I don't think he was. That was terrible.
That would have been good
Hey,
too.
thank you for not smoking, though, John. Unlike Chris's vapage constantly during the show.
Yes.
I'm not smoking.
Variety reported that Gears 5 developer, the Coalition, Huh? That's a pretty good name, isn't it? I like that. Well, I went way too far. The coalition made a decision to remove smoking references from the shooter after discussing the issue with anti-tobacco organization Truth Initiative. In an update to the story, Rod Ferguson,
Good old
Rod Ferguson replied to the report to clarify that smoking was not removed from Gears 5. Quote,
What?
there was no smoking. Quote. There was no smoking to remove from Gears 4 or 5 because there never was any smoking to begin with. Get it right. And as long as I'm in control, that's right, Rod Ferguson, there never will be.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it make sense for you to walk into a room and Phoenix has got a stogie hanging in his mouth? I mean, come on.
Right, if you ever refer to Marcus.
What if you walked in and he was there vaping?
They probably won't put that in there now.
Dude.
They wouldn't put that in.
Yeah.
We're just going to let John call Marcus Phoenix. That's
Yeah,
we're going to let
I
that
know.
be a thing.
I didn't like it either.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Ugh. Makes him sound like
So
like,
pretentious.
Spotlight on me. I don't like it.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Can we move on?
We like it.
No, look, I'm all about, if you're a guy who's against smoking and
Yeah.
you want to and you want to keep that out of your game, more power to you. That's your game.
Most of them aren't doing it though. I mean, like
but
very
just
few.
honestly, Rod, light up once in a while.
Except for Metal Gear. Kojima doesn't care.
Yeah.
He'll put cigarettes in his game.
When was the last time I saw a cigarette?
It's rare. And it's about to start happening with vaping everywhere because, now the kids, they don't smoke anymore. They all vape.
When was the last time you had a cigarette?
Saturday.
You got any?
Tell the truth, Chris.
Last time was probably, I have one at the Grateful Dead. I did have one there because
Having some drinks?
Yeah, having drinks and being around like 20 people that smoke. And then the kicker for me, the one that got me, someone had Natural American Spirits, which are like, to me, that's the IPA of cigarettes right
Is
there.
that the one with the Indian on the cover?
Yes. Yeah.
Indigenous people.
Indigenous?
Thank you.
Are we counting cigars as cigarettes?
In general.
I don't. They're different.
We had us a cigar on 4th of July.
I mean, I'll have a cigar.
Absolutely.
Wait, but Alabama didn't beat Tennessee on the 4th of July.
Phoenix City.
Alabama.
All right. So much of that.
Yeah, man. Talk about the TurboGrafx now.
Was this on me?
Yeah.
Sorry. TurboGrafx 16 is getting a mini. Now, let's learn more about this. I don't really care that much. The next I should have just left this off.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
The
I gotta
next
know.
device in the mini console wars is the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Pre-orders are live with a release date of March 19th, 2020. Additionally, Konami revealed the full list of games coming to the system, 26 of which are PC Engine titles in their original Japanese language. The list price for the system is $99.99. Now, I saw the list, and there's a lot of games on there. What's going on, guys?
Sean is doing that thing where he hears a noise and he's like,
No, there's like a squeaky going on that I didn't want the listeners to hear.
Was I doing this? Maybe I was doing
probably. It's always John.
that. Sorry about that.
Sounds like
But,
you're on like a spring mattress.
but
John.
I remember wanting a TurboGrafx 16. Bad.
I kind of remember that too. There were a couple of games.
I think they were released prior to the Genesis. I think that was.
Yes.
I think they were.
That's where all
first.
the original Metal Gear games were.
Yeah, that's where I first saw
that a fun
Altered
fact?
Beast.
Before Solid, yeah.
First time I saw Altered Beast was on a display in Toys R Us on the TurboGrafx 16, and Slaughterhouse
Slaughterhouse was the
on,
game.
Was
that
on,
was the
was on TurboGrafx.
I wonder if
16.
$99 though.
There's blood in a game.
yes, and he looks like Jason
Oh, it was
Voorhees.
epic. That was
Honestly,
an awesome game.
regardless of how you feel about it, like $99 for that to me just seems too high.
It's a really long list of games.
It's a long list, but I wonder, outside of like hardcore collectors and all that kind of stuff, just like classic people that
I've
that
already
grew up with
pre-ordered
that.
one.
I'm sure you have. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it selling that great. Like, I don't know if it'll be as disastrous as like the Genesis one that came out last year, but
Oh, I thought.
there'll
No,
be a
you mean the
knockoff.
Sony. Genesis isn't out.
or yeah, the Sony one, yeah. Like,
In fact,
where you're just
Sony's are available right now on Amazon.
too late.
Speaking of Amazon,
Oh, that's a good segue. Amazon's developing a new loader game.
I'm so glad you did that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was hoping you would.
Lotar.
Loader means Lord of the Rings for you people who didn't get the
Should
joke.
we?
What?
Should we
You shall not pass.
Should we tee this up?
Well, he needs to be ready because I'm going to give him some cues in a minute.
All right, give him a cue. Okay.
You ready? You good? You got it? All right. So Amazon Game Studios is developing a new Lord of the Rings MMORPG. The game will be a free-to-play adventure set in Middle-earth as portrayed in the Lord of the Rings literary trilogy where people cannot pass.
I feel like I've got the effect.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering, Geoff is still here.
Yeah. Well, he's just being a good boy right now. He's just listening.
Hey, I'm letting you guys do
Maybe
your
it's
thing.
better.
You can interrupt us anytime.
Yeah.
We care about your
Right now,
thoughts
he
and
is
feelings.
a fan of the show.
Well,
The game will be based on Tolkien's original works. The game is being developed with Leilu Technologies and Middle-earth Enterprises. And it will be released as a PC game and on consoles. My question is, to you people not in the know, what do the people that are already playing the Lord of the Rings MMORPG think about this? Fly, you fools. Fly, you fools.
Sorry.
I was thinking about Lord of the Rings last night. I do that from time to time.
It's a good thing to think about.
And I was laying in bed laughing
at us.
because I was thinking of that GIF. Is it GIF? It's GIF. GIF that you sent.
No, he just showed you.
Gandalf throwing off his robe
Oh, yeah.
and scaring the crap
seen
out of
it?
the King of Rohan.
Can
you please pull this up
real quick? Or you don't have your keyboard, do you?
Yeah, it's over there.
What are you doing without your keyboard?
Well, because we have a new setup, man. We got a new gig.
I got like 95 people here right now.
And a keyboard ain't one?
Yeah.
That's
sorry.
amazing that you did that. I didn't know you had that in you, and it made me happy. I gotta be
He's
honest.
going to take off his shirt and have a blue ivy tattoo on the back.
Nice.
What is he talking about?
Now,
I don't know what that means.
It only
as far
goes
as
so far.
I don't
man.
think fans of the game are going to care that much because one, that game has been out forever.
People
right?
still play it,
and
they
two,
still love
it
it.
is free to play, and it's a cool free to play model because like you pretty much play certain parts of it for a little bit every month for free, and then like there's sections of the map that you can just buy, and once you buy them, you have them, and you can go do whatever quest you want.
It's a free to play model that I actually agree with.
Yes.
I was joking about what are the current Lord of the Rings online people are going to think. It's like when you're like recently Final Fantasy went from Final Fantasy 11 to 14 online, and people played 11 for a little while, but then they go, you know what, 14's the better game, and that's what's going to happen with this game, I think.
Plus, they could do it in a different era. You know, like
Why would
I'm
they
not
do that?
Because like I think the show, as far as the actual Middle Earth show, is not going to be set right at the time of Lord of the Rings.
It's going to be set in Middle Earth.
You're talking about the Third Age?
Probably like, more like towards the beginning of the Third Age, you know?
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yes, a very long time.
Nerd.
Much like how Game of Thrones' new show is going to actually be set almost 10,000 years.
And no one likes you.
But, I don't know. I hope it's good.
Yeah, man.
I probably will not check it out.
At E3, I hope that, you know, for you, that you'd get a new game with a guy named Sam Fisher as a star in it, but that's what I hope for.
Well, speaking of Sam Fisher, Facebook be shopping.
Facebook be shopping, yo.
Well, you cannot stop Facebook from shopping. Will Sam Fisher be coming to VR? A new report suggests that Facebook has already signed deals to bring some of Ubisoft's biggest IP to include Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
I said sale.
So that means come to Oculus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
You're okay.
No,
with
I'm just saying, I was clarifying.
You
if it's
picture
Facebook,
him-
they own Oculus.
Can you picture watching him?
You get to be Sam Fisher, dude.
Can you picture him watching, playing this game? He's crawling on the floor.
Does anybody know how to hook up a camera without Chris knowing?
Gosh, I'm sure you do.
We need to make that happen.
It is speculated that this is part of a bigger push to acquire video game studios for itself. Facebook is looking into beefing up its game business, according to quote the information. The information is a publication. Mark Zuckerberg is apparently involved in the strategy to get big franchises on the Oculus VR platform and make it more attractive to consumers.
This might be what Sam Fisher needs.
Because we know that Oculus and VR in general is a bust.
No.
Cue the triggering of Sean.
No,
False.
the new Oculus, it doesn't require a PC at all, and it's hands-free. I mean, not hands-free, but wires-free. has that Star Wars game.
I watched a dude buy that one on Saturday when I was at Old Best Buy.
Dude, Vader walks up to you.
Yeah.
And
I don't want that.
I was watching.
Nobody should want.
I was watching some videos of people going, "Oh my God, he's right here."
First of all,
he's right here.
Seriously. First of all, you would never see Darth Vader walk that close to you because you'd already be dead.
No, you're his like apprentice almost.
No,
I swear.
No, Sean,
dude. And you don't know what it's like to be in a VR headset.
Whatever, VR sucks. I do know what it's like.
When a character comes to you and you go, "Oh my God, I'm in."
Yes.
You don't really know what it's like to have the blues.
Oh,
that was ever last.
No one knows what it's like.
Yeah, nobody knows. Sorry. To answer your question, what would I do like, as far as with Sam Fisher and there's crawling on the ground? I think it's an obvious answer. I'd put the headset on Penny and be like, "All right, Penny, time for you to crawl around."
Oh, that's cruel. Bless her heart.
That's stupid. Dogs can't wear headsets.
Bet.
You can with duct tape. You picturing it now? The duct tape around.
I'll just get I'll get a 3D printer and I'll make a cast in my head and I'll put it on there.
He casually says, "I'm going to get a 3D printer."
If Penny could talk.
This is getting twisted.
Yeah.
You know what also is twisted?
I hear Sarah
that doesn't work.
Monster Hunter World will have a harder in-game. Capcom has made the expansion Iceborne more challenging than the base game in response to feedback from fans. Yeah, everybody, was too easy. You never heard it.
That's a direct quote.
According to executive director Konami, what do you think?
Konami?
Konami
Fujioka stated, quote, "We've taken that feedback to heart from players who wanted more difficulty and more challenge and really delivered on that." End quote. It's fine. Every time I talk news, Chris just wants to be dad to Penny, and I hate him. I hate him for it. I'm messing with you, Chris. I've had a Yingling. It's important to note that you must complete the main story before diving to the Iceborne expansion. Monster Hunter World Iceborne will release worldwide this September.
You know, Sean, the expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn, you don't have to finish the main story to play that one.
HZD has an expansion?
Yeah, it should be included in the special edition.
I got the base day one version that I never opened. Yes, I did.
I thought you had the
I got it day one and never opened it. I don't have the super duper
That's not true.
That's factual.
Take a picture of it and send it to me tonight.
It's already it's
Take a picture of what?
The game, right?
Yeah.
It's my Discord picture.
I don't know. Okay.
Quit moving your microphone on the table. What is going on with this podcast?
It's going amazing. That's what's going on.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's all kind of sounds and stuff.
Sean, did you like Monster Hunter World?
Yeah, I did. A professional would get to the microphone to talk to answer a question.
I heard you. Don't matter what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
You play a lot?
I played a lot, but it's one of those things where you do. For me, I wanted to have my real friends.
Real friends?
To play with me, and it just kind of disbanded.
If you go get an Xbox One X, we can play together.
See? Because it's free on Game Pass, and that's why I play it.
Actually, I bought it on sale.
But it is free on the Xbox Game Pass.
You should get it.
You know, if you sign up right now, you can pay $1 for Ultimate.
Actually, Sean, no, you can't anymore. That's over.
That ended. When?
No.
Ended last week, I thought.
I looked yesterday.
I would check to confirm, but I can't.
I looked yesterday and went, I could still do that.
Oh, okay.
Chris, can I borrow your TV?
So look, I know I like Xbox more than you now, so quit correcting me on air, huh?
Come at me and Phil.
Come at me, bro.
Speaking of Xbox.
Here we go.
All right, I got this.
Finally this week. That was weak.
Yeah. I think you should add bass to this.
Do they get
There it is. Finally this week. Finally this week.
That's what needs to happen right there.
Xbox Kinect. Oh, you could hear it.
Yeah.
Xbox Kinect is watching you. Newark Liberty International Airport, which I flew into once. Sucks.
Shut your face.
Has an unexpected new security system. Jason Scott, a video game historian and archivist.
Is it archivist or archivist?
Whatever. Tweeted photos of Kinect devices allegedly being used to monitor the crowds moving through the airport. The sensors are attached to longer devices. Sean, you know what those are. Longer devices that reach out, I should say, over the terminal from hanging monitor screens. It said out. That's what it said.
Get out?
According to Jason's tweet, TSA is now using Xbox Kinects for surveillance in the New York airport. Good job, tech. Good job, tech. Slow clap, Microsoft. So apparently, as I was digging into this, apparently Xbox has not given up on the Kinect completely. They are actually selling it to people as an option for security systems. And from what I understand, that option, review-wise,
is amazing.
They're saying it's very antiquated and it's not good at all.
Oh, I was off on my amazing judgment.
It's
I was hoping I was going to get to use my Kinect again.
I remember back in the day, like when they were first rolling out.
Was back in the day?
2009, I guess it would have been.
We just had to ask.
And then when Kinect came out, like, remember when they were first reviewing and distributing this, like, they were trying to show, like, here are all these different things that they could use that as far as field. So it makes sense that someone would use it for something like this.
You want to spy on your cheating husband?
Get a Kinect.
Xbox Kinect.
Well, you can do that with your phone now.
You can?
Yeah, you haven't seen the people get all the security cameras and they just, like, have it on their phone. Oh, there's an alert. Jeff spies on his wife all day.
Oh, every day.
Yep, see?
It's a joke.
Is it? They'll never know. Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Do you want to wrap this up?
Never.
Just to be safe?
Thank you. Jeez, drop the ball one more time.
From the future.
What was that?
That was bad.
Was that bad?
But it was in a good way, though.
It was so bad it was good. It's kind of like somebody who's so ugly they're adorable.
You know the type.
Yeah.
All right. Got some long ones this week. Hey, that's
Yeah, we do.
Hold on. I'm probably going to have to increase
You're going to need to zoom in on that.
Yeah,
Because we got. I think the setup needs to be more in the middle.
I didn't really have a choice. Normally, that'll be the way it is. It's harder with 4 people because if not, then it would have been like, Jeff's in front of the TV.
No, Jeff would have been just on the other end of the TV.
We'd have had a perfect view of this if not for Jeff.
It's all Jeff.
Did Jeff ruin the show?
You invite him.
I'm out.
I did.
Yeah.
I gave the olive branch to Jeff to come on over.
If you want to write in your thoughts and opinions, John, thoughts and opinions.
Thoughts and prayers.
God, man, just a ball is dropping. Hey, snap back to it there, sport.
Wow.
You touch me again, I end you.
He didn't just touch you. He laid
I'm just like trying to get him back. He's like over there reading the email.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thank you.
I have thoughts and prayers for Chris after that.
Yeah.
Does he know I ride a motorcycle?
Dude, it's a Suzuki.
I don't think you know this. Kenny's always waiting at Lake Bottom for me to have my back. Me and him. We're ASC guys.
Oh, nice.
But anyways, Richards, my Gary, wrote in, and he wrote it to weeklygameschat@gmail.com. That's weeklygameschat@gmail.com.
That's the subject line.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the subject.
I know. That's why you named this.
You said
email.
Richard McGarry's wrote in.
Oh, sorry.
That's theoretically not correct.
Well, Pollard wrote in, and he titled it
Pollard?
Richard My Gary's, and he says, "Hey dudes, Pollard here.
What's up, Pollard?
Yo.
Been a while.
Been where?
Since I wrote in for the boys, still listening, and I almost got caught up to your most recent podcast. You have been knocking it out of the park lately, and I appreciate it. You know how to cheer up your listeners. I've been back on Witcher 3 wagon again, and that game never gets old. That's true. I plan to keep listening and wish you all the best. Thanks for the content, brothers. Your mom's box drolls."
All right. First of all, anytime you see the word like the sentence, I should say, "Thanks for the content," and you see the word "brothers," you got to go Hulk Hogan on it.
Brother.
Yeah. Thanks for the content, brothers. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying with us and keeping up. And hey, we're knocking it out of the park, both at home and on the podcast, boys.
I'm going to keep doing this so John can't read.
Yeah, it's fine. John, don't read.
Don't read.
It makes you sick. You can't play VR. That's why you don't like it.
All right. Next up, Rob writes in. He hasn't written in a while, so he wrote his masterpiece.
Is this lawyer Rob?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But he says, "Dear gentlemen, first off, I apologize for not reviewing your fine show sooner. I don't use Apple's official podcast app for my podcast and couldn't figure out how to leave a review via my PC. So I had to download the app and just leave a review, which I have now done.
That is amazing. Thank you.
As I write this email, I don't see mine up there, but hopefully it'll be visible in the next few days. The rest of you can thank John.
Oh
for his
my
nagging.
God, it worked. At least one person put up with your nagging, and it worked.
Yeah, thanks
That
for
would
being
be
an
at
old
least
one.
3 at this point.
While I was there, I took a glance at the comments of other reviewers had left, particularly the negative ones referred to the right-wing politics. I hesitate to start...
Eject, leave.
I hesitate to start or restart a debate on the subject, but my take would be that your show's collective voices tend to be more balanced than, say, Kotaku's or Polygon's.
Thank
I
you.
enjoy both of those sites' content as well, but your show has essentially become my sole non-retro gaming podcast because of the variety of opinions expressed. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. We will.
Moving on, I finished both Mario Maker 2 and Bloodstained episodes this week, and I had a few items I thought I'd chime in on. First, regarding Stadia, I was initially interested too, but the more I think about it, the more concerns I have. I have serious doubts that a box with the level of tech can sustain 4K 60 frames per second with tolerable latency for games, especially FPS. Sure, the hardware cost will be fairly low, but will the controller be as good as DualShock 4 or the
Better.
Xbox One?
It's going to be better.
Greatest controller ever. I assume that if you want to play local multiplayer games, I'm going to need another one as well.
Yes.
Probably so.
Yes, probably.
Also, I'd assume that would be crossplay with PC titles, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Oh, no.
I'm a big Destiny 2 player, and while the upcoming cross-save feature will help, I feel like the player base on Stadia will be far less than on PC or the other 2 consoles. That's a fair point. And also, why are they leading with Destiny 2 in late 2019? This is probably too harsh a hot take, but I feel like this is a web TV of gaming platforms. A lot of people will buy it and then realize it's not a suitable replacement for the real thing. That's in quotes.
Maybe. I mean, I've heard people say
It's like
web
the
TV.
conversation between Classic Coke and New Coke.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Wow.
Stranger Things.
That's
season
not-
3.
But what about Coke Zero versus Diet Coke?
Oh, who drinks that? Ugh.
Yeah, Diet Coke is disgusting. I agree. Moving on to loot boxes. If we ban things based on worst case scenario, when does it end? I played several MMOs. You see, John, an MMO is.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Which were often criticized for having addictive qualities long before loot boxes appeared. Do we ban World of Warcraft because it implements game mechanics and incentivizes players to log in every day? Do we ban Funko Pops because they keep making more than I want to collect, despite limits on available discretionary funds and space? I also keep coming back to the collectible card games like Magic, Pokemon, and Hearthstone, not to mention blind box bag collectibles.
Hey, going in on a blind box and bagging is awesome, isn't it?
Loot boxes employ an almost identical mechanic that is most desirable. Items are the rarest ones, necessitating multiple purchases to ensure the consumer ultimately gets the item he or she is seeking. I don't think that some of my examples being physical items distinguishes the issue either, as the items of value are normally far less than price paid. If you don't agree, I've got a bunch of Magic commons from the 90s you'll gladly part with for MSRP.
That's so funny.
You see, John, Magic.
Magic the Gathering is, John.
Yeah. I understand some people's brains are wired differently and are more susceptible to destructive behavior, but we shouldn't ban everything that has the potential to be harm to a subset of the population, especially not if we want to continue to having the ability to purchase affordable games.
I agree with that statement.
Did I write this letter?
Compare
Probably.
the exponential development cost of games now versus the 16-bit era, then take into account the 16-bit games sold for between $50 and $75 in the 90s, and then adjust for inflation. USinflationcalculator.com lists $50 item in 97 would now be $80.
You see, Sean, inflation.
yeah. Turns out.
Which is why I have no problem paying $80 if they want to increase the price. To not expect publishers to find revenue streams is naive and unfair. We are living in a golden age of gaming where I can purchase a less than 1-year-old AAA title for a third of its initial asking price, not to mention the selection of games and their varying prices. As a consumer and a gamer, I don't want to change that system. I also don't want to ban casinos elsewhere or everywhere. If that's selfish, so be it. On a lighter note, the groan-inducing pivots are part of your charm. Don't cut them. Also, I like the echo effect for the topic intro, though not for the last news story of the show. Okay.
Yeah, I told you that one
Okay.
it doesn't fit. We got
The echo is distracting and makes it hard for me to properly focus on finally.
right. You got to get one that's deep and
All the best, Rob.
sexy. You know what I mean?
Going back, I will say this. I think he's got a point, and I don't want to ban them. I think my problem, I think the biggest core problem is not that it's bringing something where you're saying this isn't just like they're here. Like people don't have a problem with them for free to play, right? Like that is how one of those things makes their money, Rob. Like I get that. Like, and they are trying to find whales out there who will come in and finance their games because no one's going to give them $60 for the game instead. But there's a big difference between that and what you're speaking of than like back in the day, WoW, where I spent $15 on a subscription and then I got to play the whole game and I didn't have to spend more than that $15 a month. I got the game and I didn't need to supplant anything else with it. Like, right. And something like now where I think the worst of the worst, honestly, the more and more, especially now that I'm back into playing it right now, NBA 2K, where it used to be I could buy the game and get to max level probably in a month with my character and then make more max level characters throughout the year and experiment and try different things, to instead how it is now for my career, where literally you get this character and then if I was reading this week of people who are just now had never spent money on this game, only now getting to 90 because they've been playing their first season of that game every single day for 12-minute quarters and doing everything they can to maximize how much VC they get. Like that's how hard it is. That is someone taking advantage of you and basically begging you to give them money so that you can increase the time on top of them already taking $60 from you.
But, Chris, those people don't care. They're, as he said, they're not susceptible to that behavior that says, I have to go and spend money to be the next Chris Love and be at 99 as fast as possible.
Yeah. And they're the rarities.
Well,
and it's level based. If you're giving me loot boxes, quote unquote, or skins or things, additional things to buy for a $60 game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I've played 120 hours of, I'll give you more money.
Sure. I don't mind.
Because you have granted me a huge amount of content. Huge. So like you and I both bought that skin a few weeks ago where your hair's on fire and your pupils are dilated.
But the thing is, I didn't need that to play the game, right?
Well, you don't need loot boxes to play anything. If you do loot boxes correctly.
I think the point though is like I'm saying with something like NBA 2K, you do need it.
Oh, do you?
Like because you're talking about if you want to play online against people and you're coming in there and people have after the first week 90 rated characters and you're sitting there in a 66. You're going to get decimated.
Well, you're a fascist.
I mean, it's just bad.
It looked like he was like he was teasing his feedback on Bloodstained and things.
No, I think he was just mentioning the episodes.
Yeah. I'd love to hear what he thinks about them.
I
don't think he actually put the game. He was saying he finished the episodes.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
So he's kind of caught up, John.
Or what you call dumb.
Yep.
Yeah. Would you pay attention next time to when the listeners take time to write in?
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Thank you for your feedback, Sean. Thank you.
Next up, Mark from Holland.
Hello.
Yeah, it says, Dear Weekly Game Chat, congrats on winning the Women's World Cup. I'd love to see my country win, but the best won. You darn right they did.
The men's team did not win.
Holland's men would destroy the United States team, so you have that.
I think the women's team would destroy the men's team at this point, but that's probably, I don't know. Your podcast is the best podcast in my non-native language, and I thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
I came across your podcast when I searched for Slay the Spire and then stopped listening for hours through different episodes.
Wasn't that a Chris game?
Yeah, it is. You're welcome.
We got a Holland listener because Chris played Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You're welcome. You can send me a check. My wife.
Your wife.
Bought me a Bluetooth headphone. Because I'm at home headphones, because I'm getting hooked on podcasts. Anyways, that modern game Slay the Spire got me hooked in years, because I normally play retro from Atari to PS2. What retro games did you guys get hooked on and would still make you play for hours? I don't know if this is like retro to video games, but it's to my history. And I was doing it this weekend. John, you might even see me because I saw you on Xbox.
I shut my eyes immediately and ran out of the house.
Risk is a game that, like, no matter what form it is, whether we're talking about, like, is on Xbox, on PC, the actual traditional board game, if I just want to zone out, I will gladly play that game. And I just play the computer and see how it can.
For me, retro is defined by anything Super Nintendo on, like back.
SNES?
So I gave you one as a treat. I'm never saying it again.
You won't even go like PlayStation N64 at this point?
Possibly. I was just about to say that. But for me, it's always going to be like a Mario World or something like that. You know what I mean? That I will play hours, Mario 3, hours of that game, even after you've beaten it, and you just start over and start playing again. I love that game.
Yeah.
Metroid.
Definitely Metroid on Super NES.
I got to play that one, huh, John?
You do have to play that one.
At least Super Metroid.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Castlevania 3 on the NES, Gyrus on the NES, the Atari. I can throw out some Sequest, and I like Frogger a lot. Frogger always kept me coming back.
Friend of the show, Josh, for sure.
He's on an Atari.
Yeah, I had one.
Friend of the show, Josh, it will always be Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, for sure.
Is that retro at this point? Yeah.
Yeah.
Retro.
I mean,
So he's probably going to buy the new one that comes out.
yeah, I think so. Jeff, you got it?
Contra?
Hey.
Contra. Hey, that's a good one, Jeff. That's a gem.
Did you ever go see back in the day when they were touring around here, Contraband? I used to love that.
No.
Yeah, it was a bunch of guys. They were in Athens. They were friends with like a bunch of our friends, and they did a side project called Contraband where two people would play Contra.
Nice.
And they put it on the screen, and then the band would literally play everything that was going on down to death and everything.
Did you pick up the collection?
No.
It's worth it.
Metal Slug. That's another.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
very good.
Yeah.
I guess I could play Battletoads now because it's on Rare Replay, which is on Games Pass. And finally, here we got AA Ron.
Hello.
What's up,
Hey,
sir?
Ron.
He says,
you
"Hey
doing?"
guys."
Yeah, you didn't say that.
Yeah,
So
I
we
know.
were kind of lost.
So my son is almost 4 going on 18, and he recently started to have an interest in video games. Playing Super Mario Maker 2 with him has been both fun and hilarious. I was wondering if you had similar experiences with your kids and maybe with your parents when you were a kid. I can remember me and my dad playing NFL Blitz on N64. Dude, I love that game. They should bring him back, by the way. I think they tried to a couple times and didn't work out. But also, I can't stop playing Slay the Spire. Send help.
Oh my God.
You know, that's
Game
crazy
on.
because I'm hearing that everywhere. I mean,
Dude, people love that game.
People cannot seem to get enough of Slay the Spire.
Yes. And it's perfect for Switch.
I hate that, Sean.
Don't you hate it?
I
like
hate
with
it,
everything
but
in
it's
me?
true.
As far as experiences going with playing with my kid or what have you, just last night we snuggled watching Twitch streams of Mario Maker 2.
Sean, you snuggled with me. That was me.
But I've got her to where she does like video games. I tried early because actually Geoff, he's going to have a lot to say on this, I bet.
She used to be a calling card to our gameplays.
Yeah. But I always tried to expose her to, video games and what they were and things to play. And, I remember when she was very little, maybe like 3 or 4, we saw a Link and a Zelda like plush in a GameStop or something. And I bought them and I was like, hey, remember this is, and she still has those. So
awesome.
I'm always going to hopefully, always have her in the video games or what have you. But Geoff from like day one, A1 has been rocking video games with his son.
Yeah. He's 10. And I still remember the era where he was starting to play first person shooters. And it was, that it's fun to watch somebody get into first person shooters and having their X and Y axis, having to line that up. That's fun.
Yeah.
But he's being 10.
Can he teach Aiden how to play Fortnite?
He's at that interesting age though, because it's like in about 3 years, all of a sudden he's going to become a god at these things. Yeah. It like always happens.
The funny thing for me, the difference in our generations is, back in my day when I was his age or I don't know, somewhere in that area, you get one game and you play that game for weeks on end.
6 months.
Yeah.
Christmas and birthday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had perfect.
Sometimes Easter.
Yeah. But their age now, they're inundated with games. He's on the PlayStation 1 minute. I go in his room, he's on his Xbox. Then he's on his iPad playing a game. I mean, it's just something new every day. And then, like you asked me about Fortnite, he hadn't played Fortnite for months, but he's back into Fortnite. And he tells me, Daddy, you got to play with me. I'm really good now. I'm like, oh, you're good, huh? After playing for 2 days again.
Aiden is one of those different type of this generation gamer where it's Fortnite and mobile games. Like
that's a lot of them now.
Like Crash. What is that? There's a new. It's the guys who do Clash Royale.
Yeah.
but it's a
Clash of Clans and
but
Clash
it's
of 50
it's a battle royale game.
Yeah. Clash Royale?
There you go. It's probably true.
Yeah.
No, is it?
I don't know. I have no idea. As far as me, yeah, I don't have any kids. Sorry, Penny. But as far as me and my dad growing up, it started with like things like the first thing I can ever remember playing with him was actually on PC, and it was this 1942 plane and submarine World War II game. It was awesome. I used to love it. I wish there was more like it.
So distracted by Penny licking your hand.
I know, right? And then afterwards, it was graduating to Doom. I played Doom and Doom 2 with my dad.
Very cool.
Way back. And then finally to NES and playing Zelda. My dad loved Zelda, the original Zelda. We played it a lot. And then later on, when I became a Saturn kid and a Genesis kid, I'm so sorry I was a Saturn kid, guys.
I'm so sorry you were a Genesis kid.
Oh, no. That was a glorious time. Power to the player. Wait.
Holden discovered Donkey Kong. We've got that Donkey Kong arcade game at work, and anytime I bring him up there, that's what he wants to do. He wants to hit the game room, and he wants to play Donkey Kong.
But my dad he loved baseball and World Series baseball. That was the one thing Sega always did better than everyone else, was that sports game. And he would come in and we would just play home run derby for hours. And he'd be like, my dad, Geoff.
Bases Loaded 3.
Oh.
Super Bases Loaded 3.
RBI baseball.
Had Ryan Sandberg on the cover.
The funny part, he once came in when I was playing World Series Baseball 95 and watched me with Brady Anderson. I was playing a season and I was up to like 60 home runs with Brady Anderson. He was like, he'll never do that in real life. And sure enough, the next year, he hit 50. Sean.
Hey.
People hit us up on Twitters. Did they actually hit us up this week?
They went to Weekly Games Chat on Twitter, Chris, and they talked to us. First one was, if you remember, at Magic Numberler was talking to us last week.
Buff the Magic Dragon?
And we started going into PC talk about how to build a PC and stuff. So he said at Weekly Games Chat, thank you guys for reading my email. That was the one that I told you we talked to on Twitter during the recording that they wrote in. The PC gaming info was huge. We play Apex Legends daily and I always try the new games that would stress the graphics cards, like you said. So a real big build would be the necessity. Thanks. That is awesome.
Do it.
Let's see here.
Do it.
There's one that's talking to John. Let me get up to it because John. He likes when things like that happen. At Big Riff says at Weekly Games Chat, John's take on the bad map in Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Did I say that right? Because it's just, he typed BR2N or ROTN. Reminded me of my frustration with the Hyperlight Drifter map, which is purposely vague. Speaking
People
of,
said that.
That's out on Switch now and is well worth reviewing, especially since we're all fans of Link to the Past.
Everyone loves the way that game looks like.
I don't know what that means.
It's very stylish and very Zelda when you look, but yeah, that was always the complaint, is that there's a lot of obtuseness.
Obtuse, huh?
Yeah.
On Friday, I tweeted that everybody had made it to Friday, and I kind of wanted to know what games they were going to be playing over the weekend. I got a couple of responses. At Tyrannosaurus was going to hopefully play some more Gears 4 to get ready for Gears 5. I wonder how many more people are doing that. At Embereco, was going to play some Dark Souls 3 because, they didn't stop playing Bloodborne until this year.
Jeez.
At C Garcia T13 said D2 baby. Too bad you guys hate that game. At Huck4MS is playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Xbox. That's dope.
Yes.
Let's see here. Xbox replied to us and said that we got a few games to catch up on in our backlog. And then they put us looking at our backlog as the GIF of Jon Snow in the Battle of the Bastards.
That's fine.
Drawing his swords. Xbox replies to us, and Chris thinks it's just a bot. I don't. I think somebody at Xbox loves our show.
Maybe they do.
Did Hillary Clinton respond to us?
That's funny, and we don't need to bring that up.
That's funny.
At Slim Tim 13, apparently was in the area where the hurricane hit, so they weren't planning on playing a lot.
I was talking to him on the Discord, and
he's all right.
Thoughts and prayers. He hasn't responded since then, but man, they had a lot of rain there this weekend.
Big Riff said Bloodborne again. Also had an itch to play Skate 3 recently. I've never played any Skate.
Oh my God.
Put some time in on that.
Just please put Skate 4 out. Just that. See, that's what we're talking about. EA, just put the Skate. That's all we want. It's the Skate.
Drevin was going to grind out some Final Fantasy 14. He says he wishes it on an Xbox, but it plays decent on PlayStation. So apparently that's where he plays it at.
A lot of people like that game.
Yeah, and people play it on PlayStation, which I've tried, and it's just not the same.
I could never play a MMO.
At Tahari says they just jumped back onto Battlefront 2. I don't know if I'm going to ever jump back onto Battlefront 2. I got to be honest. I picked up a new PSVR game. If you're on our Twitter, you saw me post a picture of it. At Mr. Maidson asks, is the PSVR worth it? Never tried it, but always wanted to. I said I personally think now is the best time to get it if it was ever on your radar. Think about it. All the games, there are more games out now than ever. So that's why I said this is the best time to get it if you want it. Really funny response. At Hell Teacher Loki, always really funny, says, talk to us when you're done with the best game of 2017, Horizon Zero Dawn, Sean. And then he put a smiley face laughing with tears coming out emoji.
False.
So that happened.
Yeah.
Somebody also wanted to know, should they get that or the Oculus? And that's a preference. I said the Oculus right now has exclusives on it. Like I mentioned that Vader game. If you see that Vader game, if you're a Star Wars fan and that's the only place to play it.
If you have a PC. And that is capable, like truly is good and solid, not just some bare bones thing. And you want a top-notch VR experience. I mean, our Vive or Oculus. Yeah. I mean, no disrespect to PlayStation VR, but it's obviously, I think like the Oculus Go and all that kind of stuff is much more on par with what PlayStation VR is doing. Than these high end ones, and there's a reason they cost $400 to $800 to spend what you're gonna get your money's worth.
And pick up Trover.
Yes,
Trover saves the universe.
I still need to pick it up.
Yeah,
so funny.
So at C Garcia 13 also replied to us, Xbox, and some other folks, and this was in reference to D2, that D2 remark when I said Happy Friday. He says he can tell it used to be your grind and trust them. They also have a love-hate relationship with Destiny.
Yes.
But they're telling me, homie, because I'm the only one that plays Destiny, Shadowkeep is going to be dope and it deserves a weekly games chat breakdown. Love your guys' point of view. Love or hate, hashtag top notch. I read that because of what you just said. So that's cool. Funny. We were also mentioned in a tweet where there was a bunch of other things mentioned. We always appreciate the love that goes there. Let me make sure we don't have any DMs. We do
much
not.
Love.
Let me make sure that we don't have any other mentions. We don't, but I know we have some new followers. So shout out to at Cherubus, following you back once you accept it because you have a locked account. Following Jim Swai back. Thank you so much. It appears that you're up in the Wisconsin area, sir. Go Badgers or what? What's happening there? And at Maddie Osauki, I probably butchered that. But thank you so much for the follow. And you're in Australia. Is that where Melbourne, Victoria is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melbourne is.
Shout out to Australia, huh? I watched the video before I bought my motorcycle, and the deciding factor was a guy who had my motorcycle riding in the Australian Outback.
Ooh.
And dogged it. He was running with dirt bikes and stuff.
So you're going to take yours out to the Mojave Desert?
It let me know that motorcycle could handle me. That's what it meant, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But thank you guys.
This has been episode 213 of Weekly Games Chat. If you like the show, subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast. Well, I guess it's not iTunes anymore. I'm sorry. Apple Podcasts, because iTunes is dead.
What?
Yeah, that happened a while ago. Make sure you subscribe to us and you'll get a new episode just like this one every Wednesday, for your amusement. And if you really want to be helpful, just like, Rob did, go out there and rate us. Preferably top notch to balance out these people that think John is made us into a right-wing hate group show.
Yeah, for all the people that stopped listening the day that we became right-wing radio.
Yeah. But besides that, make sure you also follow us on Twitter and Facebook for constant updates, including links to the show. And if you want to get more involved in our community, follow the Discord group because the Discord group
remix.
Because that includes wonderful discussions on everything from movies to different TV. I know there's like a bunch of people talking about Stranger Things right now.
We share pictures with each other about
Yeah.
like stuff like studios being built
and vacations being taken.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just like all sorts of crazy stuff.
It's exactly what we wanted when we created our Discord.
And also, it's another place that you can find out when we go live on Mondays, usually at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Look at that. That was a segue.
And remember, kids, taxation is theft.
What does that mean? Why is everybody laughing but me?
It's a right-wing talking point.
Yeah. That said,
That explains why everybody was laughing but me.
before the end of the show, I will say, Geoff, thank you for coming out.
Oh, is he still here?
Thank you for having me. I enjoy being here.
I think you did amazing
Thanks.
on the Pedro talk, really.
Who's your,
Top notch.
who's your favorite host?
Don't do that. That's like saying who's your favorite kid.
Penny.
That's a safe answer.
Cop out.
Smart
Cop
answer.
out.
That's nice.
Well, how many times is this for you now?
4 or 5.
I think it's more than that.
No.
You've been on a good bit.
Best episode was the Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
You,
for sure.
you brought it. You had
something about
it.
slamming
It's
that
called
game.
honesty.
You had actual. We had responses from your appearance.
Oh,
You
man.
generated hate.
You did, actually.
It was fantastic.
Good. Good.
First time and that didn't happen to me.
John was like, "Bring it on."
This is amazing.
I'm not talking about unions.
Oh.
And I never will again. Trust me.
Until next time, though, I will simply say, game on, Sean.
Game on, Chris.
Game on, John.
Game on, Shawnee Bear. Game on, Chrissy Poo. Game on, Jeffy Weffy.
And
on,
Game on, John.
game on, Geoff.
Game on, Chris.
Oh.
Game it on. Game on, Sean.
Yo,
on,
no one
Geoff.
else gets it.
And game on, John.
Why is that hilarious to me, the way he's doing it?
I don't know.
Game on, John.
You know what also is
Game on,
hilarious?
John.
Your mom's box! Because it is hilarious.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good week.
Squeezing on my money.